Hello all dear champions, Sai Abhinav Negi welcome you all on BYJU'S exam prep civil mechanical XZ YouTube channel. Guys, on 12th of February, approximately 1 lakh students, 12th February 2023, approximately 1 lakh students who have registered for the GATE 2023 in civil engineering have given the examination in forenoon and afternoon shift. And all those students are fighting for the top 2000 seats in the country. Roughly 400 in PSUs and 1600 in prestigious institutes like IIT and ISC. We have already, our whole team have already done the 65 questions, the detailed solution in this YouTube channel only. And now in this particular session, I will be, in fact, our whole team will be doing the 65 questions of the afternoon shift, that is the shift 2. This particular session is useful for all the future aspirants of GATE, those who are going to write the GATE examination in any future, so that they can be knowing about the pattern, the weightage analysis, the distribution, the difficulty level of exact those 65 questions that came in the examination in 2023. So, guys, let me tell you first of all the highlights of the examination of the afternoon shift. Let me again remind you that the forenoon shift already is here in this channel. The complete video solutions of all 65 questions. Now let us go to the afternoon shift. So guys, the paper was easy to moderate. In fact, I will say easy. And total 11 questions were MSQ, 21 were NAT, and MCQ were 33. And this ratio is expected that most of the questions will MCQ, then it will be NAT, and then MSQ. Now, if I tell you about the distribution, then the distribution is same like the forenoon shift, and it is almost same like as it is any other year. Engineering mathematics is always with 13. Yes, one change, that strength of material is here little bit higher. Okay, in last 5 years, the strength of material weightage is not much more. It is 4 or 5 marks, but here in this paper it is 8 marks. And apart from that, geotechnical will be again highest, environmental engineering 13 as expected. So everything is as per the convention. So if I compare forenoon and afternoon shift, mathematics of 2023 has to be, mathematics of any year has to be 13 and 13 now onwards. Okay, SOM is more in shift 2, hydrology is same, engineering mechanics was only in shift 1. Okay, then it is geotechnical engineering almost same, structural is almost same, surveying is almost same. So rest of all other subjects are having almost roughly equal weightage as in shift 1 and in shift 2. Now, let me go to each of the questions of strength of materials of geotechnical engineering and surveying, so that you will be getting the detailed solution. And after me, guys, the other faculty will, his or her respective subjects will be coming and taking the session. I hope that this session will give you idea about the GATE exam and help for your better future and help for your better planning for the upcoming GATE years. Okay. Now, first of all, take this question. It was asked in strength of material in MCQ and 1 marks. Okay, a solid circular shaft of length is equal to 5 meter. Okay, circular shaft of length is equal to 5 meter. Length of 5 meter is given here. Okay, fixed at one end and free at another end. A torque T of 100 kilonewton is applied. Torque T of 100 kilonewton is applied at the free end. The shear modulus and polar moment of inertia Gj and the torsional rigidity Gj is given as 50,000. Okay, and on the basis of this, the two statements are given. The first one is that the rotation at the free end is 0.01 radian. So phi is equal to TL by GIP, or GIP, IP is J. What is J or what is IP? Polar moment of inertia. That is moment of inertia about this axis. If I say this as Z, then IZZ is IXX plus IYY. And IZZ is called polar moment of inertia, or it is called as J. Now, what is torque? 100 kilonewton. What is length? 5 meter. What is GIP? 50,000. It is kilonewton, again it is kilonewton, so it will be cancelled out. 50 1000. Okay, kilonewton per meter square radian. Now phi value will be coming from here 500 divided by 50,000, and this will be 1 by 100, that is 0.01, and it comes in radian only. So statement 1 is absolutely correct. In these kind of statements and assertion reasoning, what is the benefit? That even if I don't know nothing about the second statement, then since the statement 1 is correct, so this cannot be possible and this cannot be possible. Now let me come to statement 2, the torsional strain energy. The torsional strain energy is half T into phi. So from here half T into phi, you are getting the value as 0.5, not 1. You are getting the value as 0.5 kilonewton meter, not as 1. So here statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is wrong. Option number B. And I guess as far as the difficulty level of this particular question, most of the students have done it correct. Okay. Now moving forward to the next question. Let me quickly go to the next question. Okay, this is the question. Okay, you can easily do this. When a simply supported beam, elastic beam of length L and flexural rigidity EI is loaded with uniformly distributed load W, then deflection is this one. Okay, then here this is the deflected shape, and here this is the delta naught. If it is loaded on half of the span, the mid span, if it is loaded here, what will be the delta? Okay, and let me tell you that if it is loaded here, then what will be the delta? I know that if I do principle of superposition and if I add this will be this. So 2 delta is equal to delta naught. So delta is delta naught by 2. That is option number A. I guess that you can do this if same type of question is there. Again, as it is not very difficult, it was in 1 mark problem. Now let me go do question number 3. This was MCQ and this was in 2 marks. Now let me tell you about this question, a very interesting fact, that you have listened sometime that the concepts are same, only the numeric values are changed in the few competition exams. And concept has to be same, concepts are limited, and every year thousands of questions are floated in various competition exam. Now here guys, here not the concept, but exactly the same question was asked in previous year question of mechanical engineering with the same data. Here the numerical value is also same, PYQ, and those students, when I saw this question first time, memory based on the exam day only, 12th February, I directly know the answer. Because the same question was the previous year questions of mechanical also with the same data. Okay, now let me solve this for you, for all those questions students who find this new. So first of all, what is this theta? Here this theta. So this tan theta is PQ, let this be R, this is sigma y. So this is perpendicular, that is QR, upon base, that is PQ. So what is QR? QR is 3 and PQ is 4. So tan theta is equal to 3 by 4. From here, the value of theta that you are getting, I have already calculated the value, so time is not wasted, is 36.87 degree. 36.87 degree. Okay. Now the principal stresses are asked. Now if I find out sigma x dash value, sigma x dash is equal to sigma x plus sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus sigma x minus sigma y by 2 cos 2 theta. What is the theta here? 2 into 36.87. 2 into 36.87 plus 0 because tau xy will be 0. Because in xy plane, I'm considering this x and y. In xy plane, there is no shear stresses. So tau xy will be 0 here. Now, if I write the tau x dash y dash, what is this sigma x dash at theta angle? This is 120. Okay. Now, if I write tau x dash y dash, this tau x dash y dash is 120. So it is minus of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 sine 2 theta, that is 236.87, and tau x dash y dash value is tau x dash y dash is again 120. Now two equations, two unknown, x and y, sigma x and sigma y. I have already calculated, so time is not wasted. Sigma x is 67.5 and sigma y is 213.3. Because here these are the principal stresses, na, because shear is nothing here. So the option number C is the correct answer. Simple equation you have to apply at theta at degree. What is the value of sigma x dash and tau x dash y dash? Every other value is given, so you can find out the value. Now let me move to question number 4. Again it was of 2 marks, and again it is very easy. Guys, when a question will be coming difficult, I will not be saying moderate to that. I will be saying that it will be difficult. Please wait for the difficult questions also. Now let me go to question number 4. Here what was asked? The magnitude of vertical reaction at P. Magnitude at support P is asked. Magnitude of vertical reaction at support P is asked. Okay. Let me check. At P is asked, na? P or Q? Let me check here in my paper. At P is asked. Okay, correct. P it is asked. Okay. Now let us find the values. So if I convert this, I have removed this and convert this here in vertical direction, and one is horizontal direction. So in vertical direction, what is the value? In vertical direction, the value is 500 into sine 60. That is root 3 by 2. And in horizontal direction, the value is 500 cos 60. That is 250. So horizontal load is 250 and horizontal load is 100. So net is 350. That will be balanced because this can provide the horizontal. This is the horizontal reaction at point P. This is the horizontal reaction at point P. Now, taking moment about any point has to be 0. Summation of moment about any point Q. Summation of moment about any point Q has to be 0. Okay. Now, if I take the moment of HP will be 0 because it is passing from Q. I take clockwise as positive, anti-clockwise as negative. So RP into what is the distance? 2, 3 and 3, 6. 6 RP. 2, 3 and 3, 6. 6 RP. Okay, this 250 is also passing from point Q, so no load. And this 500 root 3 by 2. 500 root 3 by 2. It is anti-clockwise and the distance will be 4. Okay. Now this is 200 Newton clockwise. 200 into 2.5. Okay. Now that is 100. And 100 is applying anti-clockwise. The distance 100 is not passing from Q. So 100 into 0.5. 100 into 0.5 is also clockwise. Okay. And this value comes to be 0. This value comes to be 0. Please check the calculations. Everybody, 200 into 2.5. Yes. So from here the RP value is 197. RP value is 197 newtons, and the range in the given question, since it is having a complex value, so the range was given even very big. I am not expecting this much big. The range given by IIT Kanpur was 195 to 200. Okay, as per the difficulty level and the calculation complexity of this particular question, I am not finding this to be very tricky one. Okay, and not very tricky, and also the range is also quite big. In some questions of shift 1 where there is a huge calculations and very complex calculation, they have given very less range in question number 65 as per the master question paper. But here the range is quite big. Now, this is the question that I can say that the toughest paper of the toughest question of both the shapes. Out of the 130 questions, I am considering this as the toughest one. I am again telling you, out of the 130 questions that we have, I am considering this question to be the toughest one. Okay. A 2D thin plate with modulus of elasticity, and guys, let me tell you here the answer will be 5, but many persons have given the answer 7 before the release of answer key, and that time I came up before the release of answer key and I told that the answer will be 5, and I also told you the logical reason, the conceptual reason the why 7 will be wrong. Because when students are finding the answer 7, they are writing me mail or telegram. The very blunder mistake in that is stress by strain is equal to Young's modulus. They are using this equation somewhere in between. That is not applicable here. Because stress by strain is equal to Young's modulus only for Hooke's law is valid only for unidirectional loading. Here it is a biaxial stress. Okay, plane stress condition, biaxial stress, not unidirectional stress. So that is why they are getting the rank answer 7. Even before the release of answer key, I told the answer will be 7. And in fact, IT has also given the answer as 7. Now, a 2D thin plate was something like this, and in x and y direction at any point, the displacements are u and v, cx square y, depending upon the x and y coordinate of this point, this point, this point, this point, this point, and the v displacement in y direction, it is 0. Okay. Now, we know that from the strain-Rosette chapter, you all know that sigma x is equal to Young's modulus upon 1 minus mu square epsilon x plus mu epsilon y. From the strain-Rosette chapter, everything is given here. Sigma xx is given. Okay, shear stress tau x is alpha x square. What is the value of alpha? It is asked. What is the value of alpha? It is asked. Now, what is sigma xx? 40xy. E into 1 minus mu square epsilon x I can write down as del u by del x, and mu epsilon y is del v by del y. Since v is 0, where is v? Here. So this term will be going to be 0. So 40xy is equal to E 1 minus mu square del u by del x, differentiating with respect to x. So it is 2cxy. 2cxy. So from here 40 is equal to, or in fact for 2 can also be eliminated. xy is cancelled. xy is cancelled. 2 into 40 will be 20 is equal to E upon 1 minus mu square. Okay. Now let's go further. Here we have reached up to one equation. Now you know that gamma xy shear strain is tau xy by g. Gamma xy is tau xy by g. Okay. So gamma xy is, or from here tau xy is gamma xy into g. What is gamma xy? I told you many times in YouTube and paid classes also, gamma xy, when these kind of displacements are given in x and y direction as u and v, then it is del u by del y plus del v by del x. Okay, gamma xy into g is tau xy is given as this. So here it is g gamma xy del u by del y, differentiating it with respect to y. It is cx square. Okay, and g can be written as E is equal to 2g 1 plus mu. E is equal to 2g 1 plus mu. So g is equal to E upon 2 1 plus mu into gamma xy is equal to cx square. What we have to find out? We have to find out tau xy. Okay, so tau xy is g gamma xy. Tau xy is g gamma xy, and after that g gamma xy is written as this: del u by del y plus del v by del x. Okay, tau xy is gamma xy into g. So gamma xy is this, and we have to multiply with g also, na? G gamma xy. So del u by del y was cx square. So g also has to come here, na? G also has to come here, na? Okay, G also has to come here. So tau xy is this. Let me write it here clearly. Tau xy is equal to G into gamma xy, and gamma xy is cx square. So it is G into cx square, and G can be written as E upon 2 1 plus mu from the relation E upon 2 1 plus mu. So tau xy is equal to, what is cx square now? Or E upon, okay, C will not be cancelled here, na? C E into 2, 2 is equal to 2, no, this is not 2, this will be 20. 20 is equal to EC. Okay, 20 is equal to EC upon 1 minus mu square, and here it is EC into 1 plus mu, and tau xy is equal to E into C. Now E into C we can write 20 into 1 minus mu square. 20 into 1 minus mu square. EC is 20 into 1 minus mu square, and then it is cx square upon 2 1 plus mu. Please check my calculations. It is cx square. Okay, and here there is nothing c. Okay, let me check my calculations. Let me check my calculations, everybody. Okay. Now here it is alpha x square, and 20 I have written it as tau xy was this, E into cx square upon 2 1 plus mu, and instead of EC I have written 20 into 1 minus square upon 2 1 plus mu. Instead of EC I have written, so after that it will not be cx square, it will be only x square. Okay, so tau xy is also written as alpha x square. So this means this whole term will be alpha. This means this whole term, let me take which color, let me take this. So this means this is alpha x square. So from here alpha value is 20 into 1 minus mu square is 1 plus mu 1 minus mu divided by 2 into 1 plus mu. Okay, so this will be 2 to 20 will be 10, cancelled. 10 into 1 minus mu. What is the value of mu? 0.5. So 10 into 1 minus 0.5, that is 10 into 0.5, so it will be 5 answer. So this is the trickiest question and the most difficult question out of all the 130 questions that we have in the 2012 civil engineering paper. And let me tell you very frankly, these kind of questions are answered by 0.1 or 0.01% students, and for other students, I'm not saying that those who have attended this will be getting the top ranks. Might be any student who is not very calm and composed, and he is so much favorite, and he has taken this question as a challenge. Might be he has wasted so much time, so other questions he has not attempted. So in exam it is not taking challenges, it is to fetch the maximum marks. Okay, now what is here? SPT was carried out at a location by using a manually operated hammer dropping system with 50% efficiency. The recorded SPT value is 28 with 50% efficiency. If an automated hammer dropping system with 70% efficiency now, then what is the number of SPT values? Of course guys, efficiency is directly proportional to 1 by n. When efficiency will be more, number of blows will be required lesser, na? If it is very high efficiency, number of blows will be lesser. So n into efficiency into n will be constant. That is 0.5 into 28 is equal to 0.7 into n. So n is equal to, if you divide here by 0.7, it will be 40 into 0.5, that will be 20. So the option will be 20. Have you got this? Everybody, any doubt, guys? Please like and share the session and subscribe for more such beautiful sessions. Now, this is the question, guys. Till now, at present, when I'm making this video, question paper is released, that is response key is released, answer key is released, but yet the final answer key which comes after the challenge is not released. This question was when asked in 12th February. On the same day, I told that the answer will be this. IT has given this only. IT has given this only. But then many students have some ambiguity. Let me clear all the ambiguity today. And this is challenged. We have challenged this, and most probably it will be accepted. Reason I am telling you, guys. For the Laplace equation to use the properties of this is the equation from the continuity equation. Ky and kx is equal to 0. To make in simplified form, for isotropic soil, kx and ky are cancelled. So it becomes a simple Laplace equation from which we can use its property. But what happens when kx is not equal to ky? Isotropic conditions are not there. When it is anisotropic soil, then there is a two-step derivation. I'm not going in that. There is two-step derivation. Then in case we change the x transform, we change the x-axis, and it is the x-axis is changed. The x-axis is changed such that it is equal to x into under root ky by kx. X into under root ky by kx. Changing the x-axis, if you put it now here, when kx and ky are not same, when kx and ky are not same, and you put xt here, then again this becomes into a simple Laplace equation, del 2h by del xt2 plus del 2h by del y2 equal to 0. When this happens, guys, see, if kx and ky are equal, that is isotropic soil, it is cancelled, simple equation becomes. But when kx and ky are not same, anisotropic soil, okay, this will not be cancelling. Then if we change x by xt, then if we change by x and xt, then again this becomes like this. But guys, what happens, what you study, when x-axis, x transformed is equal to x, this is when x-axis is changing. When y is same, x is changing. Okay, but here what is the question? The embedment depth of the wall should be, in order to draw the flow net without changing the horizontal scale, x is not changing here. So when y is changing, then it will be reversed. The multiplication factor will be not ky by kx, it will be under root kx by ky. That is k horizontal by k vertical. So this is correct, absolutely correct, no problem. But वो क्वेश्चन वाला बनना तो चाह रहा था हीरो. He started with anisotropic soil, पर वो अपनी जाल में फंस गया. उसने खुद ही एम्बिग्यूटी क्रिएट कर दी और उसने लास्ट में क्या कर दिया, इन ऑर्डर टू ड्रॉ द फ्लो नेट ऑफ आइसोट्रोपिक सॉइल, लास्ट में उसने आइसोट्रोपिक वर्ड ही हैज यूज्ड द आइसोट्रोपिक वर्ड. दैट मींस kx is not equal to ky. Sorry, that means kx is equal to ky. So this is the answer for the general case. But here for isotropic soil, although he started with anisotropic, but he has written isotropic. So although the right answer is this, the general answer is this. The general answer is this. But for isotropic soil, both are same, and one is also the correct answer. So IT Kanpur started with some tricks, but वो अपने ही trick में फंस गया. Okay. Now let me go to the question number 8. Guys, this was the MSQ question. Now what is very special of this MSQ question? From the day, that is August 2020, when IT Bombay has announced that a new type of question will be coming, MSQ, and the 2021 was the first year when MSQ came. Now in 2021 when MSQ came, what happened? I'm every time telling you, those who are my followers in the YouTube, those who are my students in the YouTube, they might be knowing this, that every time I'm saying in an MSQ session that MSQ is a subset, sorry, MCQ is a subset of MSQ. MCQ is a subset of MSQ. Okay? And MSQ means student thinks 2 is correct, 3 is correct, 4 is correct. No, MSQ maybe 1 may be also correct. So MCQ is also a special type of MSQ, and this happens here. I'm saying to 2021 that a question will be coming where only 1 will be the answer, a question will be coming where only 1 will be the answer. This is it. So guys, IT has given this answer. Guys, Young's modulus is changing. As the footing, na, E is changing here. E may be more, less or more, something like this. Young's modulus is changing. And when Young's modulus is changing for particular stress, strain will be different. Strain will be different. Deflection will be different. Okay? Non-uniform settlement, because Young's settlement is related to Young's modulus. More Young's modulus, less settlement. More Young's modulus, less settlement. Less Young's modulus, more settlement. And when settlement is changing, that is why the stiffness is changing, because stiffness is related to delta. K is P by delta. So B is the answer. Now, this I guess everybody who has attempted this and who will be attempting this question in the coming future will be doing this. An unconfined compressive strength test, unconfined compressive strength test like this. Unconfined means sigma 3 is equal to 0. And here it is failing at 76. So C will be, it is used for clay, cohesive soil. So there is no angle. So C will be the radius, that is 76 by 2, that is 38. And as per IIT Kanpur, the range is also 38 to 38 because here is no ambiguity, nothing calculation. Okay, so obviously the answer has to be 38. So it is saying sigma V increasing and sigma H is increasing. So if both are increasing, so P is increasing, it is going right hand side, it's fine. But if both are increasing, how we can say that this is increasing in y direction also? If both are increasing, might be this is increasing with higher rate and overall value is going downwards. Okay, so B cannot be there. Okay, now let me go to the C option. Sigma V increasing and sigma S decreasing. When this is increasing and this is decreasing, I cannot tell you the future of P. P may increase, may decrease, because if one part is increasing, one part is decreasing. So this is also wrong. Sigma V decreasing and sigma H increasing. If sigma V decreasing and sigma H is increasing, this is going downward. Q should go downward, not upward. As it is going upward, only possible case is A. When this is increasing and this is constant, so it is going to, P is increasing, so going to right hand side, OP is going to right hand side. When this is increasing and this is constant, so Q is increasing, that means it is going upward. So A is the correct answer. Now let us go to question number 11, and let me tell you guys that for question number 11, IT has given the answer as C. IT has given the answer C. The force was asked on the failure wedge. Okay, what is the forces on the failure wedge? Assuming that there is no adhesion between the wall and the wedge, identify the most appropriate. Guys, let me tell you, instead of giving the solution of this question, let me tell you, we have to take it as only because there is not very conclusive evidence. Might be for different assumptions, answer may be A also, B also, D also, because weight will be down. We have to find out the forces of this wedge. Weight will be downward, this. Okay, the force of on the wedge due to this wall will be R, will be some reaction like this. Okay, P will be some force due to the figure shows a vertical retaining wall, cohesive frictionless, and a failure plane developed due to passive earth pressure. So passive earth pressure is wall is going here. So wall is going here, it might be applying some P forces here like this. Due to that force, R reaction will be such like this. ultimately it has to be closed na, so that the net force is 0. So W is the weight, P is the passive force. When guys, what is the passive? The word later is passive na, that wall is going towards the fill. So right hand side reaction will be like this, and to make it closed loop, C has to be like this. Then only the net forces has to be 0. Then only the net force has to be 0. Okay, so this is the C option, but yes, I am telling you with different assumptions answer can be different also. So that is why it is also written the most appropriate. Okay, now let us come to the square footing is designed to carry a load column of 500 kilonewton. Okay, a square footing has to be designed B into B for carrying a load of 500 kilonewton. This is the ground level. Okay. Now bulk unit weight is 19. Angle of internal friction phi is 0. That means it is a cohesive soil. Cohesion C value is 25. Considering the depth of footing as 1 meter. DF is 1 meter. Okay. Meyerhof bearing capacity theory is used. It is quite unacceptable. Not unacceptable. It is quite very difficult to understand. Very difficult to digest that a question of Meyerhof is asked, because usually the questions of Meyerhof are not asked in the GATE examination or other examination also. Okay, so we have to design it on the basis of Meyerhof. Okay, now as per Meyerhof, with factor of safety, the width of the footing is asked. So what is the value of QU? It is square footing, so it will be C and C into shape factor SC, DC, IC. Then it is Q and Q into SQ, DQ, IQ, and half B gamma N gamma into S gamma, D gamma, N gamma. Now what are these? I gamma. What are these shape factor, depth factor, and inclination factor? What are these shape factor, depth factor, and inclination factor? Everybody please let me know. So guys, this I have taken as where it is given unity. Okay, the depth factor and the shape factor are unity. So all these are 1, and also there is no inclination. Okay, so I will also be 1, and since it is phi is equal to 0, for phi is equal to 0, NC value is equal to 5.7, NQ value is 1, and N gamma value is 0. Okay, from here, when NQ is 1 and N gamma is 0, and NQ value is 1, okay, so NQ value is 1 and N gamma is 0. So what is the Q ultimate value you are getting from here? This will be 0. Okay, so NQ is 1. C, what is C? Where is C? 25 into 5.7 into 1 plus Q, what is the unit weight? 19 into 1 into 1. What is this value coming? What is this value coming? Sorry, for Meyerhof phi is equal to 0, it will be 5.14. 5.14. Sorry, 5.14. What is the value you are getting? Please calculate and let me know the values. Everyone, please calculate and let me know the values. I have already calculated. Where is that? Okay. Everybody, please let me know the values that you are getting. Okay, so from here the values you are getting as 147.5. 147.5. So what is the net ultimate bearing capacity? Q and U is QU minus gamma DF. So DF is 1, gamma is where 19. So Q and U value is how much? Q NU value is 147.5 minus 19, that is 128.5. Okay, and what is allowable after factor of safety, net safe? QNS, that is 128.5 divided by factor of safety 3, and I have calculated this value is coming to 42.83. Okay, now a very important doubt, in fact doubt before that doubt, let me solve this. This P by B square, that is 500 by B square, should be less than 42.83. So from here, the value of B that you are getting as 3.4, and the range was given from 3 to 3.4. Even if you are getting 3.41, then also the computer of IT or the interface will be taking is as 3. If you have written 3.41 or 3.43, 3.44 also, it will be taking 3.4 only. So it will be taking as correct. Now guys, you might be saying, sir, why you have not done the calculations with QU? Why you have done with Q net? Why you have subtracted minus gamma df? Because ultimately here also in the inequality, I am using with the extra load only. I have not taken the load of soil. So when I have not taken the load of soil, I have taken only the extra load. So then only we will be net safe. I will not be taking the QU values because I am comparing with the extra load that is other than gamma df, so I have subtracted that. Now let us go to question number 13. I guess this is a 2 marks NET problem, and most of you, I don't think that any one of you is having any problem in solving this. Okay, everybody who does the pile foundation, always do such questions. Okay, so here you have to find out the value of QU, that is QP plus QF. I think one of the easiest question in 2 marks. So QP is CNC into area base. What is C? 25. What is NC? 9. What is area base? Pi by 4 d square. So C is given, NC is given, A base is given. So from here, the QP value that you are getting is 63.62 kilonewton. Okay, because all the values, C is 25, NC is 9 unless given. So area base is pi by 4 into 0.6 square. Since it is point bearing, so stress into area, point is acting at the base. Now QF is alpha CAS. Friction is on the surface, so stress into area. What is the surface of the pile? Pi dl. So D is given, L is given, pi you know, C is 25, and alpha value is given, bulk unit weight is this, angular internal friction 0, this, the allowable load of pile NC is 9, adhesion factor is 1, so this is given. So you are getting this as Q friction, Q surface 377. So 377 plus 63, so ultimately the value of QU you are getting as 440.62, and it is asked Q allowable. So Q allowable is 440.62 divided by factor of safety, that is 3. If factor of safety is not given in pile case, we take it 2.5, but here it is given as 3, so it will be 146.87. And the range, if I talk as given by IIT of this particular problem of 146.87, 145 to 149, range as per IIT Kanpur was 145 to 149. Let me go now to next question. That will be question number 14. That is also of soil mechanics, and a very beautiful question. This is water. Okay, let me take this point as A. Let me take this point as B. Let me take this point as C. Many students might be confused that where is the datum? Many friends or many students might be confused. Many times when I have taken the class, I told that unless given, the datum has to be taken as the downstream end. Okay, now I am writing A, B and C. For A, B and C, I will be writing velocity head. Velocity head has to be 0. I told you many times. Put your eyes closed, it has to be 0. If it is in rest position, velocity is 0. Even if the water is moving, it is moving very slow velocity in soil, it will be 0. Now datum head. So head height of C from datum is 1. Height of B is 2. 0, 1, 2. And height of A is 3. Now pressure head. Pressure head at let me tell you, or the pressure head at point A is, so 10 is this, 10 plus 1 meter of water, so 10 into 1, so total pressure is 20. 10 of this extra load and 10 into 1 of water, because this is 1 meter, so 20. Okay, this is unit weight of water is not 9.81, it is 10. So 10 is the external load, and here extra pressure of water is 10 into 1, so 20. So 20 pressure. So what is the pressure head? That means it is equivalent to 2 meter water. 20 kilonewton per meter cube pressure is equivalent to 2 meter, because 10 into 2 is 20. So pressure head is 2. So if I write total head here, it will be 5 here. I don't know here, and here also I don't know. Okay. So this is the case. Now, my friends, this is a perpendicular case, so KIA here, or the Q will be same. Here, my friends, the Q will be same, because perpendicular means the discharge will be same. The perpendicular means the discharge will be same. Okay. Now, from here, if I want to find out the value of discharge, okay, please see. Okay, if you have some confusion here, you can take C here also. Anywhere you can take, there also it will not be having any different. So if you take here also, 0 will be 0 and 0, so this will be 0. Easy to understand. Otherwise here also we can do. So datum 0, velocity always 0 in soil mechanics, pressure is also 0, open to atmosphere. I am only taking off gauge pressure, not the absolute one. So if I write for the whole system, K equivalent into I into A is for the soil 1, that is K1 into I1 into A. Okay, that is K1 into I1 into A. So what is K equivalent of the whole system? H1 plus H2. So what is this 1 and this 1? So 1 plus 1. Okay, now H1 by K1, 1 by 10 and 1 by 1 mm into I. What is I? Head loss of total. So total head loss is how much? Total head loss is how much? 5. So 5, and total loss occurs in length, soil, all loss occurs in length, this. So 1, 2, 3, that is 2. A will be anyhow cancelled. So what is K1? That is 10 into I of, see. This I am writing K equivalent for the whole system. K equivalent for the whole system. That is why I am writing HL also for the whole system, from A to below. From A to below. Water there is no loss. In water there is no loss, because as we go downward, datum is decreasing by same amount as by which pressure is increasing. From here to here, see here also there is energy same here. That is why I told you now you can take that point also C. You can take that point also C. Because in water, how much you are going downward, pressure will be increasing by same amount datum is decreasing. Okay, that is why I have taken C. But तुमको confusion होता है इसलिए मैंने नीचे ले लिया. अब C मैंने whole system के लिए K equivalent लिखा है, तो I have taken HL for the whole system. Now here I have taken K1 for this system only. So HL also I will be for this system only, and length will be for this system only, into 1 into A. So from here HL1 comes to be, HL1 comes to be how much? HL1 comes to be 0.4545. So loss here is this. So loss here, this means here this value is this much loss. In A to B, the loss is 0.45. So this is 5 minus 0.4545. Okay, what is it? What at any point located at the junction of two sample? What is the total head? So total head is this 5 minus 0.45. This is the loss, na? Energy here is 5 and this is the loss. So this value comes to be 4.54. So if this 4.54, what is this? 2.54 to pressure head. Because this is not hydrostatic condition, you cannot measure pressure from there. Or including this 10 also, you cannot measure pressure. This is hydrostatic. So here total head comes first, then the pressure head. Although total head is asked, so it is 4.54 and the range was given from 4.5 to 4.6. Okay. Now, let us go to the next question. And the next question is question number 15, 2 marks, and it is again of soil mechanics. Okay, everybody, I guess that this you all can do, yaar. This you all can do. Everybody, please attempt this. Everybody on the comment section. Okay, please share the session as well. Okay. So a consolidated drain triaxial test was carried out on sand sample with the known effective shear strength parameters C and phi this much. In the test prior to the failure, when sample was undergoing axial compression under constant cell pressure, the drainage was accidentally closed. Okay. So we know this expression, sigma 1 is equal to sigma 3 tan square 45 plus 5 by 2 plus 2c tan 45 plus 5 by 2. Okay, C dash and phi dash means we are working on the effective stress parameters. Okay, now here C is 0, so this term becomes 0. This term becomes 0 here. Okay, now what is sigma 1 bar? That is sigma 3 is given at failure 360 deviated stress. No, it is not given. So sigma 3 plus 360, deviated stress is 360. So it is sigma 1. For sigma 1 bar minus u is given 70. What is sigma bar 3? 360. Sigma 360 is not the sigma 3 is sigma 3 only. Minus 70 into tan square 45 plus 5 by 2. 40 plus 5 plus 30 by 2, that is 15. So that is 60. From this expression, you will be finding the value of sigma 3. I have already calculated for you, so the time is not wasted. And from here, the value of sigma 3, how much you are getting? The value of sigma 3 is 250. The value of sigma 3 is 250. One equation, one unknown, everybody can find this. Now, what is happening now? If the test is repeated without such error, that means now it is not accidentally closed. Okay, so pore water pressure is allowed to dissipate out. So let us work on the total stress, because pore water pressure will eventually go. Drainage was not closed, it is open, so it will go. So let us work on the total stress. And guys, let me just, if this was an MCQ, I know that the answer will be more than what is the deviated stress here? 360. Deviated stress was 360, it will be more than here. The answer will be more than 360. How I know this? Because earlier the pore water pressure is not, effective stress is not changing. How much you increase the sigma? That much the increase in U, because pore water pressure is not dissipating. So effective stress is not increasing, it will same. But here you are increasing the sigma, U will dissipate out, so eventually sigma bar will increase. More bonding between the particles now, because sigma bar is more, because U is not generating, it is dissipating out. And when U is not there, that means sigma bar is more. Sigma bar is more means more bonding. More bonding means more load is required to break it. So again applying the same expression, working on total stress now, tan square 45 plus 5 by 2. Sigma 1, what is the deviated stress? If the test is repeated without such error and no back pressure is applied. Now guys, no back pressure is applied. Okay, please remember this. Okay, no back pressure is applied. Okay, what is the deviatrix stress? So this sigma 3 is 250 plus sigma d 250, 10 square 45 plus 5 by 2, that same 5 value. From here the sigma d is coming to be 500. From here the sigma d is coming to 500 and calculations are easily cancelable and calculated. So the answer is also 500 and range by IIT is also from 500 to 500 only. Okay. Now let us move to the next question. Guys, the true bearing at noon is 180 and here it is 183. That means true meridian say the angle comes at 180 degree in the noon. So here the magnetic meridian is something like this, then only the angle is more, 183 degree 30 minute. So it is the west declination of 3 degree 30 minute, then only magnetic bearing is more. So option number A, 3 degree 30 minute is easily. I guess everybody has done this. I guess that almost everybody has done this. Yes or no? Okay. Now size of ground and the size of photo is given. What is the scale? 1 by S. Okay. So if I multiply 30 into 15 by scale ka square, if this multiply this area by scale square, it becomes the area of ground, that is 6 into 3, and multiplying this kilometer into centimeter, so this much meters and this much centimeter, again 2 times. Okay, so multiplying the area of photo into scale square, because it is area, it will be ground na. So S value comes to be here 20,000 and range is also given from 20,000 to 20,000 only. Okay, now this is the question. I have told this in the exam day also. This is suppose north, this is suppose east, this is suppose S, and this is suppose west. North, east, south, west. Now what is happening here? Please check everybody. Okay, let me, I have calculated the values already so that the time is not wasted. Let me take that. So that the time is not wasted. I have done this in the exam day also. Okay, please see. A delivery agent was location at R and usko P tak pahunchna hai. He has to go to P. Earlier he is now R and he has to reach to P. Okay. Now along the straight paths RC, CA, RC is here line, CA, AB and BP of 5 km each. The direction is given. Earlier, initially he is at 0, 0. Initially he is at 0, 0. Now what is the latitude and departure of point P? Then he goes 120 bearing. So bearing is 120. So 19, 120 something here. This means this is 30 and 5 km. So what is this point? So this is 5 into cos 30 and downward it is 5 into sin 30. 5 into sin 30 means 2.5. So it is 2.5 to south and east coordinate will be 5 sin 30. 5 sin 30 will be 5 cos 30. It will be root 3 by 2. It will be 4.33. Okay. Now from here, this is C point. Now it is CA 0 degree. That means angle we measured from north. 0 degree, 5 km. So it from 2.5 south, it will reach north 2.5. If I talk about A point, and this is for east, there is no change. It is going 0 degree with north. Then 90 degree, angle is north. So again, north is not changing now. It is horizontal. 2.5 north. This is point number B. And south is 4.33 plus 5. Sorry, east. 4.33 plus 5 or more towards east. So that is 9.33. After this 240 degree. So 240 from north. this is north na, 240 degree from here, 90, 180, 240 here, 240 somewhere here, like this. 240 means this value is 90 or 60. Okay, so this value is sine 60, 5 sine 60, 5 sine 60 is 2.5. So that means 2.5 here. That means 5 sine 60 means he has gone 2.5 here. So 2.5 here means from 9.33 it is gone 5 sine 60, 5 sine 60 here. So 5 sine 60 is root 3 by 2, and this gone is downward is 5 cos 60. That 5 cos 60 is 2.5. So from 2.5 north to below, so that means it is 0. It is 2.5 north, now it is 0, because 5 sine 60 is also 2.5. So it is going 5 sine 60 downwards. From 2.5 north to 2.5 downwards, it will be 0. And this value is 5 cos 60, that is 4.33, so it will be 5. So it is A option. I hope you all got it. A option, latitude 0, departure 5. Latitude is not 2.5, it is 0 na, this point. So that is this. That is point number B. Otherwise, this is just graphically I have shown you. Otherwise, you can do summation L, summation departure also. So summation L for 0 plus summation L is equal to the coordinates of this P point, or last point is P. 0 plus summation departure will be the east-west coordinates of point P, then also you will get the same answer. This I shown you graphically. Okay. So guys, these were the 18 questions that I have done of strength of materials, and these were the questions of strength of materials, geotechnical engineering and surveying. Now, I invite Richa ma'am, and she will be taking care of her subjects. Okay guys, all the best, do well, thank you.
Hello everyone. So now we'll be solving the afternoon session. So thank you Abhinav sir, and I'll be continuing after me. Next Krishna sir will be joining. So guys, let's be quick regarding the afternoon session. You can know if you have missed this, the overall difficulty level, MSQ weightage, NAD weightage, all this is mentioned to you. Next, talking about the marks. So again, as I said, environment and geotech are same as that before. Open channel flow here, you have got open channel flow is here also. 2 questions, 2 marks. So if I say that if you haven't in the first session for noon, it was like if you haven't studied FM but you studied open channel flow, so that was also a win-win situation. Here if you talk about in this session, afternoon session, fluid mechanics was asked for 3 marks. Okay, similarly you can go for others also. Next, if you see the pie chart for the percentage distribution, you can go through this: geotechnical 16%, then open environmental 13%, open channel for 4%. So all these pie chart, you can know the percentage of it. Okay, then you have the comparison, set 1, set 2 of 23 with that of 2022 and 2021. Okay. Next, coming further, we'll be solving the questions. I'll be solving engineering hydrology, environmental engineering and open channel flow with you guys. So, we'll start now. Okay. I personally believe that hydrology questions which were asked were very easy. So, let's start. Firstly, we'll be solving from the hydrology part. Okay. Oh my god. What's this? Fine. So we have got to the next question or what? We have got to the survey part. So fine. So here what you have to do, you have to do the match the following. That was pretty simple. Horton's equation. See, in the shift 1, Horton's numerical was asked. Here, what is asked? Match the following is asked. So, Horton's equation, if you talk about, this is related to infiltration. Muskingum method, this is the routing, channel routing method. So, this will be. Penman's method is basically use it for what? You use it for evapotranspiration. You will be getting potential evapotranspiration. Okay, so Penman's method, you use it for evapotranspiration. So 4, 5, 3. So this will be option A will be the correct options. Okay. Coming up next question is this question. If you remember in the past years, once they have asked a square, now this is circle. Very much simple. Now see, a catchment is given to you in the form of circle. Radius is given to you as 30 kilometers. Now what is happening? There are 5 rain gauges, as you can see it here. 5 rain gauges is given to you, and the rain gauges are corresponding to that, the rainfall is given to you. It is asking you to calculate the average rainfall using Thiesen's polygon method. So first step is join all the rain gauge stations such that they form non-intersecting triangles. So let's do that. First step done. Secondly, what we will do, draw the perpendicular bisector. So I'll draw the perpendicular bisector. See, I'm doing it by freehand now. This, and I'll join it. Okay. So this is basically this. I've joined it. So now I'll name it like this is the area A1, and rest area you can name it anything. This is A2, this is A3, A4, A5. Now the one mistake only which you can do is, in the question the mention is radius, not the diameter. That's the only mistake which you can do. Other than that, I don't think apart from calculation mistakes, any other mistakes can be committed. So 30, so this will total will become how much? 60 kilometers. So if you talk about A1, how can you calculate? See, if this is 30, half of it will be 15. If this till here, from here till here it is 30, half of it will be 15. So basically A1 you will get it as 30 into 30, that is 900 kilometers square. Apart from that, every other area is what? Every other area will be same. So what it will be? A2 will be equal to A3, will be equal to A4, will be equal to A5. How you will do? Calculate the area of circle, that is pi by 4 d square. Diameter will be 60 square. Minus this A1. So this will be the total remaining area. Divide by 4. So you will get it out. How much it is coming? Let's calculate. Pi by 4. (60 square) minus 900 divided by 4. So this will come out to be how much? 481.85 kilometers square. This will be what? This will be the area. Now talking about precipitation, what you have to do? Just 910 into 900. Rest area is same, so don't waste your time. P1A1 plus P2A2, you know that, okay? If you want, I'll write it down, but that's this P1A1 plus P2A2 plus P3A3 plus P4A4 plus P5A5 divided by, just divide by the total area. And total area is what? A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5. So now, apart from that, area is same for all the other 4 rain gauge stations. So apply your brain. Don't waste your time because you are doing it in the virtual calculator. So what is others? 930, 925, 895, 905. Okay. Divided by the total area, that is pi by 4 d square. Come on. Now let's calculate. .85. This is 930, 925, 895, 905. divided by pi by 4 60 square. Don't waste your time in saying A1, A2, A3. That is just the wastage. 912.545 mm, right? Mm. So this will be the answer. As simple as that. Okay, very basic question. Very, very basic question. Okay. Let me tell you. This question was conventional. Generally, we deal it for ESE conventional, but yeah, it has been asked, so we have to deal with it. Okay, so what is given to you? The cross average depth is given to you. The velocity at different depth is given to you. You have to calculate the discharge. That means total discharge will be discharge at segment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So discharge is what? Area into velocity. Area into velocity. Now what to do? How can you calculate? Area is equal to area into velocity. Velocity is given, that you will calculate it, but width into depth is done for area. Okay, so now how you will proceed? Let's talk about it. See that 7 segments, when it is divided into 7 segments, the width of each and every segment is 1.5 meter. 1.5 meter. So if you remember, only the first segment and the last segment, okay, W1 bar 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will remain as it is, and W7 bar will be same. Like if you talk, it will be W1, W2. Now can you tell me what's the formula? I'm not going to tell you first. Think about it. What will be the formula, guys? What is the formula for it? W1 plus W1 I'll give you, because many students get confused, but they were lucky. Why lucky? I'll tell you. Because if you do it like this, or if you did like this, the width at each sections were same. So this is A. First you will pause the video and tell me, ma'am, which is true. A is true or B is true. You have to tell me, then only I'll proceed. Come on, guys. Fastly. Come on, tell me fast, then only I'll proceed whether it is your W1 or W2. Come on, A or B option. Which one is true? I want to know that. A is true or B is true. Which is true? I want to know that. Everybody? B is true. Okay. So see these things I'm doing it and you are following it, that's it. That doesn't count. You have to apply your brain, because here the width was same, but it's not always necessary na. Even if you are preparing for ESE, this will help you there also. So W1 plus W2 by 2 square 2W1, because first width is taken completely and the half of the second width. This goes for W7 bar also. Okay. This one is 1.5 plus 1.5 by 2 whole square, 2 into 1.5. So let's talk about it. 1.5 plus 1.5 divided by 2 whole square, 1.6875. So this will be same for first and last. Apart from that, W2 bar, W3 bar, 4 bar, 5 and 6 bar will be same. That is what? 1.5 by 2, half of first section, half of second section. Okay, so this will be 1.5 only. So I got the width at each sections. Width is known, depth is known, I will get the area. Talking about the velocity. See, if velocity is given to you, I'll do it here only so that we don't have to turn the pages. Okay. Velocity, if it is given 0.40 here, so this is 0.40. Here it is given 0.42, it is 0.42. Here it is given velocity at 0.2d and 0.8d from the free surface. So we know that we will take the average of it. That is velocity at 0.2d and velocity at 0.8d. So this will be how much? 0.76 plus 0.70 divided by 2. This will come out to be 0.73. This will be 1.20. I should not look at this side, otherwise I'll make mistake. I'll check it out otherwise, because see, so many things are there, na? The chances that you can commit mistakes. 0.73 it was there. 1.19 plus 1.13 divided by 2. This will come out to be 1.16. Then 1.25 plus 1.10 divided by 2. So this will be how much? 1.175. Then 1.13 plus 1.09 divided by 2. That is 1.11. Then we have 0.69 plus 0.65 divided by 2. That is 0.67. Clear? We got the velocities. Now what you have to do? You have to calculate the total area. Total area will be summation of 1 to 7 all the areas delta Q areas. That's it. What you have to do now? Width into depth into velocity. So for the depth is different for everybody. So first is 0.40 is the depth. What is the width of our first section? That is 1.6875. And depth is how much? Depth velocity 0.40. Discharge is equal to area into velocity. Area is equal to depth and width already calculated, velocity already calculated. Okay, this one. Then what about for others? Others you have been having width, you can take it common. Last one also I'll add it first, 1.6875, or I'll do it at the last only so that you guys don't get confused. Width I'll take it common because it is 1.5 for everybody. This is so smooth that I write 1.5. It's carried away. Okay. 0.70 into 0.73 plus this will be 1.20 into 1.16 plus 1.40 into 1.175 plus 1.10 into 1.11. Okay, plus 0.80 into 0.65 plus 0.45 into 0.42. See, all these calculations you have to do without virtual calculator. So if this question comes and if in future also it comes, mark for review, proceed to the next questions. When you are done with all the questions, then come to this question. Otherwise, this question is not something beta which will take 2-3 minutes of time only. The question is simple. The thing is, you have to do it in your virtual calculator. That's the issue. And you cannot miss anything. And you can see here they are not whole numbers, they are decimals also there. Okay. Last one is 1.6875 into 0.45 into 0. Come on guys, you also solve, I'll also solve it. I'm moving out so that you can see and solve it faster. Solve it faster. (1.685) 1.5 I have taken common for 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct. Okay. Do it fast. All the calculations you have to do it. So you will be getting 8.564 meter cube per second. TDS calculations, but you can't do anything. Okay. So yeah, round it to 1 decimal places, 8.6 you can take it out. Okay. Now, this question. What is given to you? A compound is given to you. This was you can apply your common sense also. A compound symmetrical open channel flow section is given to you. It is asking you the maximum of critical depth. Depth also or depths also, because one option is also given to you. So generally we say for a given discharge critical depth is discharge is maximum for a given critical depth, and all those things we know that. Okay. So how will you proceed? That's question. You know this formula yc is equal to q square by g to the power 1 by 3 if you take rectangular channel section, and q, small q, it depends upon discharge per unit width. So since the width will be changing, the critical depth will also change. So you have three cases with you. Here ym is the depth of the main channel is given to you. See, if the depth of the main channel will fluctuate, the critical depth will also fluctuate accordingly. So what you can take? You can take three cases when discharge Q is equal to Q1. In that case, what will happen? When you have any discharge which is equal to Q1, what will happen in that case? We'll assume that depth of flow Y, any depth of flow Y is there, will be less than Y. So in this case, you will be getting one critical depth, YC1. I'll draw the figure also and tell you. Okay. Now let us suppose when any depth case 2 is there, when Q is equal to any depth is there, which is discharge is there, which is equal to Q2. And we assume in that case, the depth of flow Y will be more than the depth of main channel. So Y will be more than Ym. So in this case, you will be getting three critical depths. YC1 also, YC2 also, and YC3 also. I'll show it to you. Okay. Now, this case 3 also, when discharge is equal to Q3, I've written QM here, Q3, what will happen here? YC3 will exist. So now tell me three critical, here in this case one critical depth you are getting, in the last case one critical depth, but in the second case you are getting three critical depths. What will be the answer? What will be the answer? Tell me fast, because it is asking maximum. So here one, so the maximum will be 3. Now I'll show it to you with the help of diagram also. Where's that? Okay. You know this diagram very well. Just a minute. Step. And let us take it as Ym. This is Ym. Firstly, what was given to you? Q is equal to Qm. So we will take it like this. See, this is exactly freehand. This is the Q1. And here you will be having YC1. Okay. Next is what? Q is equal to Q2. So again, I'll draw it as, just a minute, this gone wrong. I'll take it other. This is Q2. And remember, discharge is increasing. Q3 is equal to Q2 is equal to Q1. This is the condition which is well known to you. Okay. So here also, here you will be getting 3. YC1, YC2. So here YC1, you will be getting YC2, YC3. Okay. Now talking about the next one, that is what? Then next, that is Q3. So if you talk about Q3, here you will be getting only one, that is YC3. Clear? So it's just a manner in which you report it. So is it clear for you guys? Tell me fast. Is it clear? So here you will be getting YC3. So here 3 number of critical depths you will be getting. Or basically, if you are not interested in this, go through the form. See, here the width also goes on changing with respect to the, with respect to what? With respect to the level of water. Okay, with respect to the level of water, you can see here it is BM, main width, the depth of bottom width of main channel, bottom width of flood channel. So the width is changing. So discharge per unit width will change, and ultimately critical depth will change. So you can go through that concept also. Okay, I always forget this. Okay, this question was damn easy. So here till now they have not ever in their numericals taken kinetic energy correction factor. It was an ESE conventional they used to take, but here they are talking about kinetic energy correction factor. So you know, for critical flow condition, Q square T upon GA cube is equal to 1. But since here kinetic energy correction factor is there, we have to take alpha also into consideration. So now if you see alpha, since it is critical, this will be critical, this will be critical. Alpha Q square by G, you are just transposing it, that's critical. So here out of the options, you will be getting this. A will be the correct option. Okay, fine. Come on. Now, this question was basically of your CPM part. In the morning session, there was no question, but in the afternoon 4 session, there was one question. So, see, municipal solid waste is there. There's some haul which is used in haul container system. It means what haul, if you talk about that, how much time is taken by the truck, okay, which is traveling from pickup point, from where it is picking up to the disposal site. So, pickup point. Pickup point to disposal site, that is known as haul. So traveling between pickup point and the disposal site. B will be the right option. Okay. Now further. Now starting environmental engineering. Which of the following are not active disinfectants in water treatment plant? Hydroxyl radical, it is an active disinfectant. Ozone, it is an active disinfectant, and it's the nascent oxygen which carries out the disinfection. If you talk about hypochlorite ion, yeah, it is 80 times less powerful as compared to hypochlorous acid, but this is also an active disinfectant. Chlorine, Cl2 in molecular form, when pH is greater than 5, it performs as a disinfectant, but not the chloride. So chloride is not an active disinfectant. Okay. Okay, this question, elevation from ground level and temperature is given to you. It is asking you the existing lab state, that means the environmental lab state. One thing let me tell you, which many guys got confused and they did wrong. Here, with increase in altitude, temperature is also increasing. That means it is the case of negative lab state. Because lab state we called with increase in altitude, temperature should decrease. But here what is happening? Temperature is also increasing. So your calculation will remain as it is. There will be no change in that. So what is environmental lab state? We call it here. This will be delta T by delta Z. So how much is the temperature change? 16.9 minus 14.2. 325 minus 5. So this is in degrees Celsius and this will be in, I'll convert it into meters or what? Just check it out. First, let me get it in meters. Because it is asking you in degrees Celsius per 100 meters. See, units, NAT questions I have told you n number of times. Just see in which units they are asking. Otherwise, you did all the calculations, but that is of no use. Come on. How much it is coming? 8.4375. We have to do it 100 meters. So this will come out to be how much? It will come out to be how much? Come on, guys. This will come out to be how much? Just a minute. 16.9 minus 14.2 and this is 320. So this is firstly coming out to be, firstly I'll mention the original one what we are getting. This is coming out to be 8.4375 into 10 raised to power minus 3 per degree Celsius per meter. So for 1 meter you are getting this much. So for 100 per meter you are getting this much. So for 100 you will be getting how much? 0.84375 degrees Celsius per 100. So this will be your answer. Round off to 2 decimal places. So you will take it as 0.84. Okay. So this is the thing which you need to know. Next coming further to the next one. Okay. Again, match the following. One match the following. You have it for the case of hydrology. Now next name match the following for environmental engineering. Come on. Air pollutant and health effect it is talking about. See, most common carbon monoxide, you guys might already be knowing it. What it is? Carbon monoxide, if you talk about it, it reduces the capacity of the blood to carry oxygen. So Q is 1. Okay. Now, if you talk about aromatic hydrocarbons causes carcinogenic effect. So P is 4th. Then talking about sulfur dioxide, you already know sulfur oxides or oxides of sulfur. Sulfur, you have bronchitis and all problem, alveoli and all those problems. So bronchitis and pulmonary. So this will be R will be 2. Then talking about ozone. Ozone will do what? It will lead to damage of chromosomes. So this will be 1, 4, 2, 3. 1, 4, 2, 3. Oh, no, this is 4. PQRS is there, na? So this will be 4, 1, 2, 3. 4, 1, 2, 3. That is the D option will be correct. Okay, come on. Now again, MSQ question was there. This was an MSQ question. In the context of water and wastewater treatment, the correct statements are, now, particulate matter may shield microorganisms during disinfection. Yes, they might shield it. Okay, there's a chances for that because if they are present, the efficiency will reduce for sure. Okay, they may shield actually. So ammonia decreases chlorine demand. Ammonia increases chlorine demand. So this is wrong. Phosphorus stimulates algal and aquatic growth. All the lake cases and all you would have seen in detergents and fertilizers. You have phosphorus in it, and it what it does? It booms. It stimulates the growth. It provides ambient condition. Correct. Calcium and magnesium increase hardness and total dissolved solids. Correct. They do. Fine. So A, C, D. Now again an MSQ. Environmental engineering, forenoon session also you had 2 MSQs. Afternoon session also you had 2 MSQs. So which of the following statement is true for the aerobic composting of sewage sludge? Bulking agent is added during composting process? No, they are never added during the composting process. Never. So this is wrong. Then in vessel composting systems cannot be operated. They can be operated. Okay, they can be operated in plug flow mode. So this is also wrong. Leachates can be generated during composting. Yes, we have to take care of it because leachates, if they are not properly monitored, they will lead to carcinogenic compounds and lead to cancer as well. So yes, they are generated during composting. Antimonosites are involved in the process. Correct. These are involved in the process of aerobic composting. Okay, although we say aerobic compost, but I told you that generally we have 2 methods, Indore method and Bangalore method. To be precise, see, aerobic method, you have to go turn the solid waste after a certain duration of time. But in Bangalore method, just a pile, place it, forget about it. So generally, if you talk about Bangalore method of composting is the one which is preferred. But if you talk about aerobic method, leachates and all generations is possible. Okay, now moving next. Okay, this question regarding this was a very simple question. You have to apply a simple brain, simple concept, and you will solve it. So let's try to solve this question. It is asking you basically the ratio of 5 days BOD to the total organic carbon. Okay, and everything else is given to you. Okay, so now if you want to calculate 5 days BOD, first of all, you need to have ultimate BOD, but there's nothing written about ultimate BOD. So you remember one thing which every time during, you can say during this conceptual classes I tell you, in actual, theoretical oxygen demand is greater than COD. COD is greater than BOD ultimate. BOD ultimate is greater than BOD 5. Now, technically, firstly, I'm saying that all the waste which is there is biodegradable in nature. So for calculation purpose, I'm assuming that theoretical oxygen demand and BOD ultimate are same. In actual, you know, it's not there. Somewhere HOD is on the higher side, because theoretical basis we assume complete decomposition of organic matter. But here for calculation purpose, we will take theoretical oxygen demand and BOD ultimate to be equal. So now guys, first we have to calculate the molecular weight of C5H7O2N. So carbon 12, hydrogen 1, oxygen 16, nitrogen 14. So 5 into 12 plus 7 plus 2 into 16 plus 14. So 113 grams. So 113 parts, or you can say grams of C5H7O2N requires how much amount of oxygen? 5. Oxygen 32 requires 160 grams of oxygen. So if we talk about 1 gram or 1 units, whatsoever you will say, so 1 gram will require how much? 160 divided by 113. That is 1.415. What is happening? Grams of O2. Okay, this much is required. This much oxygen is required. So this is what? Theoretical oxygen demand. Now with the help of this theoretical oxygen demand, I'll consider it equal to BOD ultimate, and I will calculate 5 days BOD. So 5 days BOD, 20 degrees Celsius it is talking about? Yeah. So at 20 degrees Celsius will be equal to BOD ultimate 1 minus e to the power minus k into 5. So this will be 1.415. How much is given? 0.23. So you will get 5 days BOD. .683 grams per liter, per 1 liter of the sample I'm talking about. Okay, this is 5 days BOD. Talking about total organic carbon, 113 grams of C5H7O2N. Here only I'll write it down. 113 grams of C5H7O2N has how much carbon in it? 5 into 12. So 1 gram will have how much? .5309. So now I have to calculate the ratio. So ratio will be how much? 5 days, 0.683 divided by 0.530. 9 was also there. So 0.683 divided by 0.5309. How much it will come? 1.286. So this will be the ratio. Okay, 1.28 will be the ratio if you want, if it is asking round off to 2 decimal places. Clear? Now, next question. This is the last question, I guess. Yeah. So here what is given to you? This question was very simple. जितना डरावना दिख रहा था, बहुत ज़्यादा simple था. So let's talk about it. Here 7 river segments is given to you. 7 river segments is given to you. Flow rates, concentration, everything is given to you. Now here discharge is given. Here basically, here the discharge is Q1, discharge is Q2. Here it is Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6, Q7. You have to tell how much is the concentration on the segment 7. Very simple question. बाकी चीजें तो there is no use, basically there is no complete mixing is taking place, all those conditions are there. Now if you talk about discharge 1 and 2 is given, 3 is not given, so you can calculate. This is the simple continuity equations, you can use it. Q1 plus Q2, so 5 plus 15, that is 20 meter cube per second. This will be Q3. Now what will be Q5? Q3 is coming, Q4 is also added to it, discharge is added to it. So Q5 will be how much? The arrows are correct. The arrows are correct, I guess. Is it? or I think in some of them it is withdrawal or what. I think in one of them it is withdrawal. I'll check it from the, just a minute, I'll check it from the question paper once. I'm thinking, okay, arrow is correct, it is added only, in both the condition it is getting added, na? Okay, fine. So Q5 will be how much? Q3 plus Q4. So this will be how much? 20 plus Q4 is how much? That is 3. Correct. So this will be 23 meter cube per second. This will be Q5. What about Q7? Q7 will be Q6 plus Q5. So Q6 is how much? 8 and this is 23. So this will become how much? Everything is correct now. 5 plus 5, 15, 20 meter cube per second. And then Q3 plus Q4 will become Q5, 23 meter cube per second, correct. And then Q5 plus Q6 will become Q7. So 23 plus 8. Okay, fine. 31 meter cube per second. If this is the condition. Okay, check it out once more. If anything is wrong, let me know. Check it out once more. If anything is wrong, just let me know faster so that we can proceed. We can proceed accordingly if everything is correct then. But what I'm thinking, if I see the gate question, this was not there. This paper which I have it, I think it's memory based question. Here this will be going out because I remember it. This will not be this one. The arrow will be like this, I think. Yeah, because the answer I remember I solved it that time, it was 10.68 and the arrow will be this side. Yeah, so there is mistake in the making of diagram. It's okay, human mistakes, we do commit mistake. So see, one arrow if you did from here to here, whole expression goes wrong. So here this will be Q3, the discharge is going out, right? So Q1 plus Q2 is Q3, because that's what I was striking. This is Q3 minus Q4. So this is 20 minus Q4 is how much? 3. So this is 17 meter cube per second. This is Q5. Now in Q5, the discharge Q6 is added. So Q5 plus Q6. So 17 plus 8. This is 25 meter cube per second. So you got the discharge, but you will say, ma'am, what to do with the discharge? I need to get the concentration. So concentration, if you want to get, see, if you want to calculate C7, firstly you should know C6 and C5. Do you know C6 and C5? C6 you know, but C5 you don't know. For getting C5, you have to come backward direction. So first you have to get C3. Whatsoever value of concentration at C3 you will get, same concentration you will get for C5. So let's talk about it. So what will happen here? If you want to get that, so this will be Q1 C1 plus Q2 C2 divided by Q1 plus Q2. This will give you the concentration of C3. How much is Q1? 5. You have to be very careful. Idhar se udhar thoda sa be careful. Minute mistakes you did, khatam, gone. So C1 is how much? C1 is how much? 8. Plus Q2 is 15. C2 is 12. Divided by 5 plus 15. How much it is coming? Let's check it out. So 5 into 8 plus 15 into 12 divided by 20. So this will come out to be 11 kg per meter cube. So whatsoever is the concentration of C3, that will be the concentration of C5. So whatsoever is the concentration of C3, that will be the concentration of C5. There will be no change in it. Okay. So don't think that something is extracted. Concentration per meter cube will remain same. So there will be no change in it. Okay. And even C4 is not given to you because it's not required also. Now, talking about C5 you got, C6 you already have. You will get C7. How much it will be? Q5 C5 plus Q6 C6 divided by Q5 plus Q6. Okay, so what is there? Q5 is how much? We already calculated Q5, that is 17. And what is C5? 11. Plus, what is Q6? Q6, 8. C6, 10. Divided by Q5 and Q6. So Q5 is 17 and Q6 is 8. That's it. So let us solve it. 17 into 11 plus 80. 17 plus 8. So that will make a 10.68 kg per meter cube. Now people will think one more thing. You know what? One of my students was saying, ma'am, I was getting 10.68, but you know what? I was not confident. I said, why? You did everything correct. Although I marked 10.68, but I was thinking, shall I mark 10 or shall I mark 11? I said, why? Why you think so? Because every other concentration which is given to you, it is in whole number. There was no decimal in any of that. If you check it out, C1, C2, C6, every concentration was in whole number. So he was saying that, ma'am, I was having a doubt, but I was not finding it logically correct, so I wrote 10.68. So luckily, he didn't follow that, you can say, basic instinct that it should be a whole number. So that's why this is the whole question. There was nothing environment in this. This is basic, you can say, hydrology. You used to do that mixing depth and all. It's that concept. Okay. So I guess now this whole environment, open channel flow and hydrology is clear to you. Now Krishna sir will be coming up next with structure analysis. So you'll be going to there, and if in case you have any doubts, feel free to contact me. Thank you so much, guys.
Hello dear students. So I hope you have enjoyed the session by Richa ma'am, and let's continue this particular session in which we will discuss the structure subject, RCC and engineering mechanics. So as you know that guys, in this GATE 2023 also, we have lot of question from the structure part and the RCC part also. But only single question is there which is related to the engineering mechanics portion, right? So all these questions we will discuss in our today's session, right? From the shift 1, and then we will discuss the shift 2 also in the next video, right? So guys, let's start with the structure part. So this is the question which is based upon the Mueller-Breslau principle, and a very simple question because this is a direct question of the statement part, right? So you can read here the problem. Mueller-Breslau principle is used in the analysis of structure for what? So what are the options we have? First one is drawing an ILD for any force response in the structure. What do you mean a force response? Force response is nothing as that is basically any kind of stress function, right? Now, what are the various type of stress function we have? Like shear force, bending moment, axial force, deflection, slope, and etc. Right? So these are nothing as basically the stress function for which we need to draw the ILD by using the Mueller-Breslau principle. And do you remember, the Mueller-Breslau principle is important for the drawing the ILD of qualitative type, right? That means only the shape of ILD we will get from this, right? So that's why A option is the correct answer for the question number 32. Now the rest of the option are wrong. You can see here guys, writing the virtual work expression to get the equilibrium equation, no. Superposing the load effect to get the total force response in the structure, this is nothing as this is basically a type of principle of superposition, right? And the next one is relating the deflection between the 2 points in the member with the curvature diagram in between. So guys, this is not the correct answer. So basically we have only single option which is correct, and for question number 32, that is basically A answer is the correct answer. Now let's move to the next question, which is based upon the portal frame, or you can say that this is a box frame structure in which there is no support, right? So guys, this particular problem you can solve in the exam, but you need to know what should be the BMD, what should be the deflected shape of the structure, and after that only you are able to solve this particular problem. Okay, so let's read the question and be careful. This is a MSQ type question, which is basically 1 mark problem. So what is written in the problem? Let's read it. In the frame shown in the figure, not to the scale, right? All four members like AB, BC and CD and AD have the same length, right? That means this particular length AB, BC, CD and AD is having the same length, right? And the same constant flexure rigidity, that means the value of EI is basically constant. The value of EI is constant. Okay. Now all the joints, whether it is A, B, C and D, are rigid joints, right? All are rigid joints. Now the midpoints of AB, BC and CD and AD are denoted by E, F, G, H, which is marked over here. You can see here, guys, E, H, G and F, correct? Now the frame is unstable equilibrium under the shown forces of magnitude P acting at E and G. Which of the following statements is or are true? Now guys, these are the statement which is given to us, and we need to understand how to get the answer of this particular question. So to get the answer, you need to know what should be the BMD, what should be the deflected shape of the structure. So guys, what we will do first, we'll try to draw the BMD as well as we'll try to draw the deflected shape of the given structure first. Okay, so let me show you the BMD of this particular structure. Okay, kindly see this. So this is our box frame. Let me use a different color so that it will be properly visible to all of you. Okay. Fine. Now, kindly see this. This is our box frame. And the points which is given to us is, this is basically A, this one is B, this one is C and this one is D. And we have the midpoints also, right? And this is basically our E point, this one is G point, this one is H point and this one is F point. And the load is exactly present at the midpoint of AB length, and another load is present exactly at the midpoint of DC length, right? So this is basically P, this is basically P. Now, if we try to draw the BMD of the structure, how it look like, let me show you that. So the BMD will be like this. Just a second. Let me raise this. Okay. Now you can see here, guys, this is our BMD basically, which we have to draw. Guys, how we can draw this particular BMD? If you have solved the this particular type of box frame basically in your practice duration or in your learning duration, then only you can draw it. Otherwise, this is a very lengthy process to draw the BMD, to draw the deflected shape of the given structure by using MDM, right? So that's why, guys, we are trying to draw it directly, and you can see here, this is our BMD basically. This is our BMD. Getting a point? Now let me mark, this is positive, this is negative, this is negative, this is negative, this is negative, this is positive, this is negative, and this is negative. Okay, so this is basically bending moment diagram. Now what should be the deflected shape of the structure? Now you can see here, if you have a load which is applied in this particular direction and in this particular direction, then the box frame is trying to compress in this way, right? So definitely these two joints are trying to deflect in the vertical direction, right? So let me show you the deflected shape of the structure. So guys, what will happen? This particular joint, this joint and this joint as well as this joint, all the joints will try to rotate. Okay, so let's rotate it first. Okay, now this particular portion will be like a curve, like this, and this is also a curve like this, but this will be like this one. We have some point of inflection over here, right? Similarly, on this side, we have some point of inflection again. Like this. Okay, so these are basically point of inflection, and this is our deflected shape of the structure. Getting a point? So this is nothing as our deflected shape of structure. Getting a point? Now guys, what are the options which is given to us? Let's see. So you can see here, the first option which is given to us is shear force at H and F are 0. So to understand this, you need to see this particular figure of BMT. What we have, the bending moment value is constant on this particular span, right? That means for AD and for BC, the bending moment is constant. And whenever the bending moment value is constant, right? So if you take the derivative of it with respect to x, then definitely it will become 0. And the derivative of bending moment is what? Nothing as shear force. So shear force will be equal to 0 on the span AD and on span BC. Okay. So guys, let's see this particular option. Shear force at H and F are 0. That means at this particular point and at this particular point, the shear force should be 0. Yes, it is correct. Now the next option is the horizontal displacement at H and F are 0. So you know that guys, the deflected shape which we have seen, this one. So in this particular case, the joint H and the joint, this particular joint H and joint F will not move anywhere in the horizontal direction. That's why the horizontal displacement of joint H and F will be equal to 0. So that means this statement is also correct. This statement is also correct. Now what about C option? The vertical displacement at H and F are 0. You know that guys, we have the deflected shape in which you are able to see the deflection of joint H in the vertical direction is possible, and the deflection of joint F is also possible in the vertical direction. That's why it is not equal to 0, right? So that means this statement is wrong. Okay. The next one is slope at E, F, G and H are 0. So let's see the slope also. You can see here guys, the slope at this particular point, at this particular point, at this particular point and at this particular point, how much it is? It is equal to 0. That means the value of theta at E, H, G and F is equal to 0. So that's why this statement is what? This statement is correct. Okay. So this is basically a MSQ question, which is 1 mark problem, and 3 options are correct, which is A, B and D are the correct answer. I hope you have understood this particular problem very well. Let's move to the next question, which is based upon the structure part. Now this particular problem you can solve by using the slope deflection method also, as well as moment distribution method also, right? But guys, if you use the moment distribution method, then this particular problem will become very easy for us. Okay, so let's understand how we can solve this particular problem. देखते हैं यार बच्चों कैसे कर सकते हैं इस प्रॉब्लम को. बहुत ही आसान प्रॉब्लम था, बट 2 मार्क का था. कुछ चीजें पता होना चाहिए तभी जाके हो पाएगा, right? So let's understand this particular question, which is based upon the 2 mark problem. Now this is basically a frame which is given to us, and it is almost symmetrical, right? And what we need to find out over here, we need to find out the magnitude of moment reaction at A is WL square by K, and what is the value of K? That you have to write. So इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि यहां पर आपके पास मूवमेंट कितनी होगी उसकी वैल्यू बता दीजिए, और उसकी वैल्यू जब आप निकालोगे तो WL square by something होगा, तो वो K की वैल्यू कितनी है वो निकालनी है, right? We have to find out the value of K basically. So to solve this particular problem, let's break the structure first. Let's break the structure first. So guys, this is the frame which is given to us. This hand is fixed, this end is also fixed, right? And we have a UDL which is placed on this particular part and another UDL which is placed on this particular portion. So this is basically A, this one is B, this one is G, this one is D, this one is C, and this is H, and this particular value is W, this is also W. And we have a length also, this is L, this is L, this is L, this portion is also L, and this portion is also L. Now first what we will do, guys, we will try to break the structure first, okay? So let's do it. We'll try to break the structure first. Cut it from here and from here. यहाँ से cut कर दीजिए structure को. Okay, so this is basically a UDL and this is another UDL which we have, right? So what should be the value of moment for this particular part? WL square by 2. WL square by 2. Can we write here? WL square by 2. This value is also same. WL square by 2. Correct? Now your frame is little bit simplified. So just you have to utilize this particular portion. आपको सिर्फ इतना portion utilize करना है अब analysis के लिए. Now this will be our frame. Correct? Now let us consider a moment is applied at this particular point and at this particular point also, whose value is equal to WL square by 2, and this is also WL square by 2. Now let me tell you one thing. We need to find out what should be the stiffness of this member, and this member, right? Let's mark the points. This is basically A, this one is B, this one is C, and this one is D. Correct? So guys, the length is given to us as well as the EI value is also constant. But let me tell you one thing. Whenever you have a beam like this, right, in which you have applied the moment from both the side, then the deflected shape of the structure will be like this. But in this particular case, what should be the stiffness for this particular part of beam? The stiffness will be 2 EI by L. It is not 3 EI by L. It is not 4 EI by L. It is 2 EI by L. When a beam is trying to deflect in a symmetric mode, then only the stiffness will be 2 EI by L. So in this particular case also, our beam is trying to deflect in a symmetric mode. That's why the stiffness for this particular part will be 2 EI by L. Getting a point? So let's write it down. This stiffness will be 2 EI by L. This one is 4 EI by L. And this one is also 4 EI by L. Getting a point? Now what is our task? Our task is to find out the moment at point A. Okay. So let's do it. So first what we will do, guys, we'll try to break it like this. Okay. So the moment which is coming over here is WL square by 2. Correct? Let us suppose the moment at this particular part is MBC and this one is MB. And this is our column, right? So as per Newton's third law, this value will be MBA again. And the moment which is present at point A will be MAB. And the value of MAB should be equal to MBA by 2. Correct? Now the question is, what should be the value of MBA? So just you have to use the moment distribution method so that you will get the answer for this, right? So let's solve this particular thing. So the value of, or let's write down the stiffness first. So the stiffness for BC is 2 EI by L and the stiffness for BA is 4 EI by L. So BC is 2 EI by L and for BA it is 4 EI by L. Okay, sir. Can we find out the distribution factor for BA? It is very easy, right? Only two members are there which is meeting at that particular joint. So can we write here KBA upon KBA plus KBC, correct? So let's solve this. This value will be, ये कितना होगा बच्चों? 4 EI by L होगा और BA हमारे पास कितना है? 4 EI by L and BC कितना है? 2 EI by L, correct? तो अगर इसको आप फाइंड करेंगे, how much it is? It will become 4 by 6 or you can write here 2 by 3. Getting a point or not? Okay. Now after this is basically 2 by 3 which is basically the distribution factor for BA. Now you can see here, We need to find out the value of BA. So what it is exactly? MBA can be written as distribution factor for BA multiplied by moment, which is coming over here. So WL square by 2. What is the value of distribution factor? It is 2 by 3. If it is 2 by 3, so the value of MBA is equal to how much? It will cancel and it will become WL square by 3. Clear? अब हम जानते हैं इसका आधा सामने वाले एंड पे ट्रांसफर होगा. सो द वैल्यू ऑफ MAB विल बी इक्वल टू हाउ मच? WL स्क्वायर बाय 3 divided by 2. So it will become WL square by 6. Getting a point? So this 6 is nothing as it is the value of our K. Let me show you the question once. You can see here, guys, this is our problem, right? So our answer is WL square by K and the value of K is 6. Getting a point or not? I think all of you are able to understand this particular problem, how to solve it, right? Let's move to the next question. Now this is another question, guys, which is based upon the structure part, right? In which what we need to find, let me explain it first. Okay. So an idealized frame supports a load as shown in the figure. The horizontal component of the force transfer from the horizontal member PQ. This is basically horizontal member PQ. This is the horizontal member PQ, right? To the vertical member RS. So what should be the force which is transferred to the RS member in the horizontal direction? And that is our question, right? And we need to find out the value in Newton. Clear? Very simple question. Let's do it. So what we will do first, guys, we'll break the structure from this particular part, right? From this particular portion, we'll try to break it. Okay. So let me draw it. Okay. Okay. So let me draw the figure first. So guys, this is the figure which is given to us. And this is our hinge support which we have. And over here we have a roller. A small roller is there. Let me erase it. Okay. Now this is a roller, small roller, through which one member is connected. And on this member we have 10 Newton load which is acting in a downward direction. Getting a point? Now we have another roller part like this, and which is connected to this particular member with another roller, right? And this is another support which is basically our R support. Okay. Now guys, this value of distance is 1.2 meter and this distance is 0.6 meter which we have. And what about this one? This one is basically 0.3 meter. And this one is 1 meter basically. And then we have 1 meter again. Clear? Now what we will do, guys, we'll try to break this particular part, okay, and try to simplify it. Okay. So kindly see this analysis. We have a roller over here. Now, which member is connected to this particular part, which is basically our PQ? Let me write it down. This is P and Q, and this one is S, and this one is T, and this is basically R. Now, which particular member is connected to the PQ member? It is only TU, right? So this TU will try to give some force to this particular PQ portion, right? So let's draw the free body diagram. So guys, this is our force which is FTU at an angle of theta. Right now we don't know the value of theta. Just imagine. Okay, we'll calculate it later on. And this particular value is basically 10 Newton. Clear? Okay. Now you may have two component of FTU. So one is basically cos and the second one is sine. So we can write here FTU cos theta and this one is FTU sine theta. Correct? And this particular distance is already known to us, which is 1.2 meter, and the second one is 0.6 meter. So can we write here the moment at point P is equal to 0? The summation of moment at point P is equal to 0 easily, right? So let's write down summation moment at P is equal to 0. So FTU sine theta minus, because it is anti-clockwise, right, and multiply by 1.2, then plus 10 into 1.2 plus 6, that means 1.8, and it should be equal to 0, correct? So what should be the value of FTU? Let's calculate it. FTU sine theta is equal to how much? So FTU sine theta is equal to 18 divided by 1.2, right? 18 divided by 1.2, which is equal to 15 Newton. Getting a point? So we can write here FTU is equal to 15 divided by sine theta. And this is one of the value which we are getting right now. Okay, we can calculate the theta also. It is very easy. Okay, so let's do it on the same page. So this is basically theta. So can I write here tan theta is equal to perpendicular, which is 1 meter, divided by base, which is 1.2 meter. So if you calculate the theta value, then it will become tan inverse of 1 divided by 1.2. So it will become 39 point something, 39.80 degree, right? Getting a point? Okay. Right. Now guys, let's solve it further. So as you can see here, this is basically FTU cos theta. Now what we need to find? We need to find out what should be the horizontal component of force which is transfer from PQ member to SR member. So can I say that guys, this will be our force, which is nothing as F PQ. And we need to find out the value of FPQ, which we can find out very easily. We can write here the summation Fx is equal to 0 on this particular part. So it will become FTU cos theta minus FPQ. And it should be equal to 0. So the value of FPQ is equal to how much? It will be FTU cos theta. Correct? Okay. So guys, if you put the value of theta over here, how much it is? Let's see. If you put the value of theta in this particular case, so you will get the value of FTU, right? So this is basically sine 39.80, right? 39.80. If you put it, you will get something, some value, okay? Then after that, guys, what you have to do, you can calculate it, okay? So I will try to calculate the final answer. So FPQ is equal to FTU cos theta. And you know that FTU is equal to how much? 15 Newton divided by sine theta and multiplied by cos theta, right? So 15 into cos 39.80 divided by sine 39.80, right? So if you solve this, how much you are getting exactly? It is equal to 18 Newton. So this will be your answer for this particular problem. So the correct answer is 18 Newton. I think it is crystal clear to all of you, and all of you are able to understand all the solution which we are doing right now. Okay, let's move to the next question, which is based upon the RCC part. Now these are the question which we have discussed, which is related to the structure portion. Now let's discuss the question which is related to the RCC. Now this is a very simple question which is based upon the design mix condition, right? So what is given to us? M20 concrete as per the IS 456 refers to the concrete with a design mix having what? An average cube strength of 20 megapascal, an average cylinder strength of 20 megapascal, a 5 percentile cube strength of 20 megapascal. This is the correct answer. C is the correct answer for this particular problem. It is a direct question from your notes, I think, right? Let's move to the next question. Now this question is related to the shear part or based upon the shear designing, right? This question is related to the shear designing portion. Now, and it is a MSQ also, right? And we need to be careful while reading this statement because sometime you may have the statement which is related to the some codal provision, and I will explain it also how it is related to that codal provision, right? So the first statement what is given to us with regard to the, let's read the question first, then we'll discuss the options. With regard to the shear design of RCC beam, which of the following statement is or are true, right? Which of the following statement is or are true? So first statement is, if we have excessive shear reinforcement, it can lead to the compression failure in the concrete. Now guys, what will happen in one of the direction, you can say that, let us suppose this is one of the element which we have. In this particular direction, we have given the shear reinforcement, or let us suppose we have given the vertical shear reinforcement. So we may have lot of strength in the diagonal tension part. But in the other direction it will become weaker, and ultimately your beam is trying to fail in the diagonal compression part. That's why the first statement is 100% correct. The second one is beam without shear reinforcement, even if adequately designed for flexure, can have brittle failure. Let me explain one point over here, guys. As per the IS code, what they have suggested, the beam, right, the beam without shear reinforcement, to avoid the brittle failure, what happen? We need to provide the minimum shear reinforcement in the beam, right? That means certain shear reinforcement are required to avoid the brittle failure of the beam. That is given in the code itself, and that value is nothing as you have to calculate it, right, on the basis of codal provision, right? But guys, what is written over here? The beam without shear reinforcement, even adequately designed for flexure, can have brittle failure, right? It can have brittle failure. So such type of statement is 100% correct, right? If you don't provide the shear reinforcement, then the brittle failure will occur. But if you provide the minimum shear reinforcement, or if you design the shear reinforcement, then the brittle failure will get avoided, right? So this statement is true. This statement is true. Getting a point? Now what is true? Let me explain it also. What happened, guys? Let us suppose this is an element, or let's understand in detail. Okay, let me explain it in detail a little bit. Kindly see this particular beam, and let us consider a UDL is placed on the entire span, and this is a simply supported condition. Getting a point? Now guys, what I will do, I will try to take an element from the bottom which is available below the neutral axis, right? This is our neutral axis, right? Now what are the various type of stresses which will be applied on this particular element? That is the question. So first one is basically our BMD. Second one is our shear force diagram, right? So that means the bending moment at this particular point is equal to 0, but the shear force value is maximum at the support, right? That means if we try to take out the element, it will be like this, right? It will be like this. Now tell me guys, in this particular case, if the shear force is there and it is maximum, so we have the shear stresses direction like this, right? But there is no bending compression or bending tension on the element part. Now if you try to resolve this particular element, what you will observe, you may have the resultant stresses in this particular direction. That means we have a tension force in the concrete. If the tension force is there, then tell me guys, the concrete will fail in a brittle way or a ductile way. It is a brittle failure, right? So if you do not provide the shear reinforcement, so in such case, the concrete is trying to fail in tension, and such type of failure is brittle failure. Clear? That means if we don't provide the shear reinforcement, then the brittle failure will occur in the beam, right? That's why this statement is correct. The main reinforcement plays no role in the shear resistance of the beam. Let me explain one point, guys. Do you remember the value of tau c? Do you remember the value of tau c? Tau c is nothing as, that is basically the design shear strength of beam without shear reinforcement. Without shear reinforcement. If it is without shear reinforcement, then tell me guys, this particular value will be based upon two things. One is grade of concrete. One is grade of concrete, and second is percentage tension reinforcement. And you know that the value of tau c will change on the basis of percentage tension reinforcement. So tell me guys, the main reinforcement plays no role. No guys, it will play a very important role in the shear strength of the beam, right? That's why this statement is wrong. Getting a point? Now the last one is, as per the IS 456-2000, the nominal shear stress in the beams of varying depth depend upon both the design shear force as well as the design bending moment value. Yes, it is true. Yes, it is true. Let me show you the expression also. So guys, let us suppose if we have a beam which have varying depth. We have a beam which have varying depth. Let us suppose it is trying to make an angle of beta at this particular location, right? So to calculate the shear strength or to calculate the nominal shear stress on this particular beam in which the depth is varying, the formula is basically Vu plus Mu. These are ultimate values, right? 10 beta divided by D, and this value is divided by B into small d, right? So this is our formula to calculate the nominal shear stress. Now tell me guys, this nominal shear stress will based upon Vu value also, moment value also, angle also, and B and D value also, right? So that's why this particular statement is correct, right? The nominal shear stress in the beam varying depth depend upon both design shear force as well as design bending moment value. That's why D option is correct answer. Let's move to the next question. Now this question is very easy because it is based upon the analysis of singly reinforced beam, and we can solve it guys. It is very simple one, right? And it is 2-mark problem, right? But in this particular case, what you have to be careful, M25 is given, not M20. And the second thing is we have FE415. Now this is the cross section of a beam which is given to us, and 45 mm is the effective cover. Right, this is our reinforcement, and 45 mm is effective cover which is given to us. Okay, now guys, first of all, what we need to check, we need to find out which type of section is this. It is under reinforced, over reinforced, or balance. So to find out this, we need to calculate the AST first. So AST is equal to 3 into pi by 4 into 28 square. This will be our AST value. You can calculate this easily, right? What should be the value of D? So D is equal to how much? The overall depth is given to us, which is 600. So 600 minus 45, which is effective cover, and it is equal to 555 mm. Okay. So let's do the next calculation, which is required over here. Okay. So guys, you know that if you want to find out the limiting depth of neutral axis and the actual depth of neutral axis, we have different formulas, right? So let's understand the first one to calculate the actual depth of neutral axis. Actual depth of neutral axis, which is nothing as XU, right? So to calculate this, you know that the formula is C force is equal to T force. So C force is 0.36 FCK B into XU, which is equal to 0.87 Fy into AST. That is our formula. Now let's put the values. So 0.36 FCK is how much? 25, right? So 25, B is equal to how much? The value of B is 300. We don't know the value of XU, and it is equal to 0.87. Fy is 415, and AST is equal to 3 into pi by 4 into 28 square, because the dia of reinforcement is 28, right? So if you calculate this, you will get the value of XU, and how much it is coming? It is coming around 247.01 mm as an answer. Clear? This is our XU. Now the next one which we need to calculate is XU limiting. So how to calculate XU limiting? Next one is limiting depth of neutral axis. Limiting depth of neutral axis. So if you calculate limiting depth of neutral axis, which is nothing as XU limiting, and it is equal to K into D. What is the value of K for FE415? It is 0.48. So 0.48 into small d. Small d is equal to how much? Which we have already calculated, right? 555. हमने इसको पहले भी कैलकुलेट कर रखा है बच्चों. तो ये कितना आ रहा है यार? ये हमारे पास आ रहा है 266 समथिंग, 266.4 mm. गेटिंग अ पॉइंट. तो यहां से आपको क्या देखने को मिला? XU का वैल्यू XU लिमिटिंग से कम है. The value of XU is less than XU limiting. That means such type of section is under reinforced section. Under reinforced section. If it is under reinforced section, the formula is very easy to calculate the moment of resistance, right? So let's calculate MR. So MR is equal to C force into lever arm. So C force कितना है बच्चों? 0.36 FCK B into XU multiply by lever arm which is D minus 0.42 XU. ये हमारे पास है. तो हम वैल्यू पुट कर लेते हैं. 0.36 FCK is 25, B is 300. B is 300, XU is 247.01, right? And multiply by D is 555 value minus 0.42 XU. XU is how much? Again 247.01 and bracket close, then multiply by 10 raised to the power minus 6. Then ultimately you are able to get the answer which is equal to how much? It is coming around 300.95 kilonewton meter. That means it is approximately equal to 310 kilonewton meter, right? Getting a point or not? I hope all of you are able to understand this particular problem in detail, right? How to solve it. Now guys, after this, Rakesh sir will come and he will continue the session and he will discuss the further questions of aptitude and other subjects also. Right? I hope you have enjoyed all the solutions which we have discussed today. Now let's meet in the next video in which we will discuss the second part also, right, of RCC and structure and mechanics. But in this particular session guys, we don't have any question which is related to the mechanics part. Okay, so let's close it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Krishna sir, for your wonderful explanations of the questions of GATE 2023. And guys, now I, Rakesh Talreja, will continue with the questions of engineering mathematics and general aptitude. If I talk about the civil set 2, the engineering mathematics is on a good level. Most of the questions are normal, but one or two questions from partial differential equations which are time consuming. So only I think few students would have attempted it. Let's see the solution of all possible questions. Aptitude was on a normal side. Let's first start with the engineering mathematics question. This is a direct property question, dear students. So let phi be a scalar field and u be the vector field. Which of the following identities is true for the divergence of phi u? Okay, simply product rule you have to apply. Okay, many of you might be remembering this identity, and I told you earlier also, if you don't remember, you just remember the product rule of differentiation. What is the product rule of differentiation? By the logic, d of del dot phi u, divergence of phi u. Okay, so now if I take phi constant, I will be taking the divergence of u. First function constant, differentiation of second, divergence of u. U is a vector, you will take divergence. Plus, next time u will be constant, and then you will take the del with phi. What do you take for gradient? What do you take for a scalar function? You take the gradient. Na? So what is going to come here is del phi, right? Now gradient is also a vector, u is also a vector. So between vector to vector, it is either dot or cross product, but left hand side dot product. So here it is going to be dot product. So what is the correct option that is going to match? Phi divergence of u plus u dot gradient of phi. So the correct answer, dear students, is option number A for this. Let us move to the next question here. Question number 40. Which of the following probability distribution functions has the mean greater than the median, and that is possible for the function? It is a concept of skewing that is normally expected in civil. This one is a symmetric graph. This one is symmetric. Okay, so here mean will be equal to median. This one is right skewed. Okay, that has a larger tail towards the right. Okay, this one is right skewed, and that is why the mean, as you know, let's not derive it. Okay, we are just here to discuss the answers and the brief solution. Mean is greater than median. The third one, if I want to say, that is the left skewed. And here what happens for left skewed? The mean will be towards the left. Mean will be less than the median. So correct answer for the question is function number 2. If I want to talk about option number D, that is also symmetric. But what is the difference as compared to first? This one is symmetric and bimodal. Right. This one is symmetric and unimodal. Now, what is the difference between them? For a symmetric and unimodal, right, mean equal to median is equal to mode. But in symmetric and bimodal, still mean and median are equal, but does not equal to the mode. Does not equal to the mode. Anyways, our answer is option number B. Let's move to the next question, guys. 41. A remote village has exactly 1000 vehicles with sequential registration numbers starting from 1000. Out of the 1000 vehicles, 30% are without pollution clearance certificate. Further, even and odd number vehicles are operated on even and odd number days respectively. If 100 vehicles are chosen at random, how many? 100 are chosen at random on an even number date, the number of vehicles expected without pollution clearance. Okay, without pollution clearance. So, if you talk about any particular vehicle, dear, the problem statement is very simple actually if you understand by the language. If you talk about any particular vehicle, right, it may be without pollution clearance or it may be with the pollution clearance. Okay, in brief I am writing. Okay. Here we are asking about the expected number of vehicles without pollution clearance. So let's say my success event is the obtaining a vehicle without pollution clearance. It's like you toss a coin, it may give you a head or tail. It may give you a head or a tail. Now P bole to probability of success for a single vehicle. Okay, so single vehicle can be under any two case. So that is why it is a Bernoulli's trial. Single vehicle is coming under Bernoulli's trial because it can have only two outcomes, either head or tail type of situation. What is the probability that any vehicle has pollution clearance is 30%. 30% of the vehicles are without pollution clearance, that is 0.3. Okay, now n equal to 100 trials are done. 100 such vehicles are tested. Okay, maybe that is on even number date, but out of the total, 30% are without pollution clearance. Okay, so what is the total number of trials? It is 100, and now it becomes, when Bernoulli's trials are repeated, okay, Bernoulli's trials are repeated, it becomes the case of binomial distribution, and expectation of binomial distribution, expectation formula for binomial distribution is given by the formula n into p. The mean of binomial is given by n into p. So n is equal to 100, p is 0.3. Answer the question is comfortably 30. Answer for the question is comfortably 30. That is option number B. Next question, guys, number 42. For the matrix A given to you, which of the following statements is or are true? Okay. It has a unique solution, does not have a unique solution, etc. There are few options given. Last option bolta hai, it is a, I'll just pull it up a little bit. It is a positive definite matrix. Let's see. Now, first of all, uniqueness or, unique or not unique? Determinant. What is the determinant of A? So that's going to be 1 into 2 minus 1 minus plus 1 into minus 1 minus 0 and last one to 0. Yeah. So this is 1 minus 1, that is 0. So what is the determinant of A? That is equal to 0. That is equal to 0. So which of the following is true out of the determinant 0? So if the determinant of a matrix is 0, it cannot have unique solution, right? So it cannot have unique solution. It does not have a unique solution. Okay. It does not have a unique solution. So what type of solution? Ax equal to b, it does not have a unique solution. It may have infinitely many solutions or no solution. For that we need some more updates. Okay, but it does not have a unique solution, confirm, because for unique solution mod A should not be equal to 0, non-singular matrix hona chahiye. Now guys, it is a MSQ question. So we can't really stop with one option. We have to move ahead, right? So A has 3 linearly independent eigenvectors. Uske liye mujhe eigenvalue nikalna padega. And what is the eigenvalue? What is the eigenvalue calculation? Characteristic equation for 3 cross 3. The direct shortcut that I have been telling you. Lambda cube minus beta 1 lambda square plus beta 2 lambda minus beta 3 equal to 0. So we are here with lambda cube minus beta 1 lambda square. Now what is the beta 1, dear? Beta 1 is known as the trace of the matrix. Beta 1 is known as the trace of the matrix, sum of the diagonal elements of the matrix, that is 1 plus 2 plus 1, which is 4, right? Listen to me. What is beta 2? Beta 2 is known as the sum of the minors of every diagonal element. Like this is the first diagonal element. Okay, delete the row and column. What is the minor you are getting? 2 minus 1 and 1. That is known as beta 2 plus, not only this one, sum of the minors of all diagonal elements. So guys, this is the second diagonal element. Second row, second column ko delete kiya. So what I am getting? 1 0 0 1. And next, similarly, if I go to third row and third column, the third diagonal element, I delete the third row, third column, what I am getting is 1 and minus 1, minus 1 and 2. Okay. So this much is equal to 2 minus 1. Next is 1 minus 0. And next is 2 minus 1. Total ye kitna ho gaya? This is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3. Okay, and what is the value for beta 3 here? Beta 3 is known as the determinant of the matrix, which is already calculated as 0. Okay, so let me write down the equation here. I have lambda cube minus beta 1, which is equal to 4, 4 lambda square, plus beta 2 lambda, that is plus 3 lambda, equal to 0. Beta 3 0 hai. So lambda common, and then you can factorize this as lambda minus 1, lambda minus 3 equal to 0. So what are the lambdas, dear? The lambda is equal to 0, 1 and 3. Right, how many distinct eigenvalues? This matrix has 3 distinct eigenvalues. And if a matrix has n distinct eigenvalues, it will have n linearly independent eigenvectors. N linearly independent eigenvectors. Correct? So yes. Does it have 3 linearly independent eigenvectors? Yes. It has 3 linearly independent eigenvectors. Yes, dear? Chalo, moving to the next. A is a positive definite matrix. No, because for a positive definite matrix, all eigenvalues are positive. All eigenvalues are strictly positive. Yahan pe ek 0 aa gaya, right? So that cannot be positive definite matrix. Then we will go for other check, but it does not satisfy the first criteria only. Let us move to the next question then. Let us move to the next question. Very simple. For 2 marks now. This one is 2 mark. Previous one was MSQ 1 mark, but this is 2 mark, even more simple. Okay, the solution of the differential equation is expressed as y equal to C1. Y is equal to C1 e raised to the power 2.5x plus C2 e raised to the power alpha x plus C3 e raised to the power beta x. Okay, so it is of the form C1 e power m1x plus C2 e power m2x plus C3 e power m3x. Okay, that means what will be the roots of the auxiliary equation? They are given as 2.5 and alpha and beta. Acha, what is the auxiliary equation actually? The auxiliary equation, first term is third derivative, so it's going to be m cube minus 5.5 second derivative m square plus 9.5m minus 5 equal to 0. Okay, so now add the roots. Okay, very simply option se aa jayega. If I want to talk about sum of roots property, sum of roots will be given by minus of b divided by a, minus of the coefficient of m square divided by coefficient of m cube. So that is actually plus 5.5. ठीक है जी? Right, but the sum of roots as per the given solution is 2.5 plus alpha plus beta, that is 5.5. So dear, what is alpha plus beta? That is itself 3. Alpha plus beta is 3, and only option number A satisfies this. So by option matching we are done. You don't need to calculate alpha, beta, nothing like that. Okay, so answer is equal to 3. Answer is equal to alpha plus beta equal to 3. So option number A matched. Going to the next question, number 44. Cholesky decomposition is carried out on the following square matrix A. Okay, let Lij and Aij be the ith and I comma jth element of the matrices L and A. Okay, if the element L22 of the decomposed lower triangular matrix is 1.968, ek element given hai, what is the value of the element A22? Now this is again little bit unexpected question in civil. Okay, based on the Cholesky decomposition. Now let me tell you for a Hermitian complex matrix in general considered, for a Hermitian positive definite matrix can be decomposed as L star. That is what is Cholesky decomposition. L into L star. Sir, what is the value of L? What is the value of L star? L is known as a lower triangular matrix, and L star, yeah, let me put it like this, LQ. Right, LQ. Here it will be not required to star because there is no complex element given here. Okay, so L into L star hi likh leta hu. Right, so let this be L into L star. Okay, or L into LQ, whatever name we give it. So what is this? What is the intent of this matrix? Okay, L is a lower triangular matrix. Okay, L is known as a lower triangular matrix. Now let me write down. A is given to me 8 and minus 5 and minus 5 A22. Correct है? Is equal to L. Now L is the lower triangular matrix जिसका L22 element is given. So L11 is not given. Okay, L11 then 0 because it is a lower triangular. Then this will be L21 and L22 जो कि given है. L22 is 1.968 multiplied by LQ. Now what is LQ? LQ is known as L conjugate transpose. L conjugate transpose. Okay, take the conjugate and the transpose, but conjugate is not required because the given matrix will be real. A is real, so all the elements here can be taken as real, but at least conjugate you will take. So when you take the conjugate, rows and columns are exchanged. So L1 and L1 and 0 becomes the first column, L21 and 1.968 comes to the second column. Yeah. Okay, you just have to now multiply and match the numbers. Okay, multiply and match the numbers. So what is 8? Okay, first element आ जाएगा 8, that will be equal to L11 square, right? So from here L11 is equal to root 8, number one observation. Then 8 into first row into second column पे चले जाते हैं, right? So 8 is multiplied by 0 minus 5 into 1.968, वहां से L21 आ जाएगा, right? वहां से L21 आ जाएगा. तो 8 is multiplied by 0 minus 5 is multiplied by 1.968, that will give you the value of first or second column. Sorry, यहाँ से multiply करना है. So I have L11 okay into L21, L11 into L21 first row and second column plus 0. Okay, plus 0 into 1.968 and here it is minus 5. Okay, so what is L11 is already known, तो यहाँ से L21 भी आ गया. L21 is minus 5 is divided by root 8. Okay, now directly we need the value of what? We need the value of A22. तो A22 के लिए चलेंगे हम लोग directly. Now we will go to the second row and last column. यहाँ से चलेंगे. Second row, second column. So L21 का square, okay, plus 1.968 square. L21 आ चुका है मेरे पास. Okay, so last में देखेंगे. L21 square. Okay, what I am now doing? Second row and second column. Plus 1.968 square. Plus 1.968 square is equal to, the last element here is A22. So hence you get the value of A22 that is asked. So A22 is L21 का square. L21 कितना है dear? L21 is minus 5 by root 8 whole square plus 1.9968 का square. Dear, solve it up. Approximately answer you will get 6.999 something. So approximately 7 will come up. 6.99 something. So approximately 7 is my correct answer. Option number B. Clear है? Option number B, 7 is the correct, very correct answer. Chalo, done hai ji. 7 is a very correct answer. Moving to the next question on the screen. Here it is. Two vectors belong to the null space of the 4x4 matrix of rank 2. Which one of the following vectors also belong to the null space? Which one of the following vectors also belong to the null space? MCQ 2 marks, good question, pure good conceptual question. Okay, now two vectors belong to the null space. Okay, the matrix is of rank 2. Now whenever there is a null space, there is a nullity. There is a nullity, and nullity is given by the formula n minus rank of a number of variables, which is 4, minus rank of the matrix. So nullity of the matrix is 2, 4 minus 2. Now dear, what is the meaning of this nullity? Okay, what is going to be the meaning of this nullity? It means number of linearly independent vectors within the null space. Okay, so that is a dimension of null space. So number of linearly independent vectors in null space is 2. ठीक है? अच्छा, the given two vectors are also linearly independent. Sir, why? देखो, if they were somehow related, okay, अगर ये एक दूसरे पे depend करते तो 1 multiplied by anything, can it give 0? Okay, suppose this is x. Okay, suppose इसको बोल दिया x, suppose this is y. Suppose this is x, this is y. So x and y are already independent. Are already independent. Because if they were dependent, so if they were dependent, if they were dependent, you will have a relation y equal to kx, something like this if they were linearly dependent, right? If y is equal to kx, if y is kx, so k into 1 cannot be 0. If k into 1 is 0, k has to be 0. And if k is 0, all the elements here will become 0. So they are not dependent at all. They are already independent. Then I am telling you there are only two independent vectors. Okay. And they are x and y. Which of the following vectors also belong? So which of the following vectors the vector has to be dependent on? Vectors has to be dependent on x and y. Clear? The vector has to be dependent on x and y because there cannot be any third independent vector. Okay, there cannot be any third independent vector. अब आप देखिए 2 minus 1. I'll just you have to just match the option. I'll tell you 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, 1 minus 0 is 1. 0 minus 1 is minus 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. So option number A clearly matched. Okay, option number A clearly matching because this can be obtained as a result x minus y and hence it is dependent on both of them. Any vector dependent on x and y will be in the null space. Okay, will be in the null space. Okay, and rest you can check, guys. Any of the option B, C, D, you cannot relate it to x and y. Either x plus y, x minus y, x plus 2y, 2x plus y. Anyhow, other options will not come. But anyways, that is why it is MCQ. Now, you don't have to search other option. The first one itself is simple. What is the simplest possibility of dependency you will try? Maybe x plus y, maybe x minus y, right? सबसे पहले x plus y try करते तो 2 plus 1, okay sir 3, 1 plus 0, okay 1, 0 plus 1, okay 1, but 3 plus 2, यहाँ पे 5 नहीं है. If this was 5, then this is also option. Then that becomes MSQ. Clear? Okay, so first possibility that you try is x plus y, x minus y normally. So x minus y से आ गया मेरा answer. Let's move to the next question, guys. 46 and 47. Now, they are two good questions actually based on partial differential equation. Good means they are actually very calculative. Okay, next one is और calculative, but understand this peacefully. You will learn some concepts. A 5 centimeter long metal rod AB was initially at a uniform temperature T0. Thereafter, temperature at both the ends are maintained at 0 degree. Okay. Thereafter, temperature at both the ends was maintained at 0 degree. Neglecting the heat transfer from the lateral surface of the rod, the heat transfer in the rod is governed by the one-dimensional diffusion equation del T by del T is equal to d del 2d by del T square, where d is the thermal diffusivity of the metal given as 1.0 centimeter square per second. The temperature distribution is obtained as summation for odd values of n sin n pi x by 5 e power minus beta n square t, where x is measured in centimeter from A to B, with x equal to 0 at A. Okay. And some are constants. What is the value of beta? NAT question hai. Finally, what is the value of beta? Finally, what is the value of beta? Okay, what is the equation actually given to you? Del T by del T is equal to D ka value 1 rakh dena hai directly. So it becomes the del 2T is divided by del x square. Del 2T is divided by the del x square. Okay, sir. If that is the case, okay. Now normally, if a student has studied differential equation, partial differential equation, okay, at least for the branches of civil and mechanical, you should remember the solution of heat equation, Laplace equation, okay, wave equation, etc. At least the heat and Laplace equation. Okay, but in case just for clarity how it is solved, I'll add on 2 minutes to that. Variable separable se solve karenge. So t, okay, which is a function of time and space. The space parameter is x, suppose. So t of x comma t, and suppose that is some function of x multiplied by some other function of time. Separate kar denge. Let us assume that t of x comma t is f of x into g of t. So when you put this into the equation, differentiation with time, partial derivative with time, so f will be constant, only g differentiation is equal to del 2t by del x square. Okay, del 2t by del x square. So when you differentiate with respect to x, double derivative f dash, but g is constant. Okay. So both of them are equal. So I can say that f double dash divided by f is equal to g dash is divided by g, is equal to g dash divided by g, and both of them are equal, and suppose equal to minus k square. Some standard ways of taking the constant. Okay, to simplify the solution. So f double dash by f is equal to g double dash by g, and suppose both of them are equal to minus k square. So first kitna ho jayega, dear? The first one is f double dash upon f is minus k square. So f double dash plus k square f is equal to 0. What is the second one? G dash. Okay, dear. What is the first? G dash. G dash is equal to minus k square g. Yeah, g dash plus k square g is equal to the 0. So if I want to take if I want to now define the auxiliary equation for this simple equation, second derivative m square, then plus k square is equal to 0. The m is equal to plus minus ik. Right. Here if I take the auxiliary equation, right, so first derivative, that means only m. So m plus k square is 0 and m is equal to minus k square. No issues. Okay. Now, the roots are pure imaginary. So, what is the complementary function and what is the f of x answer? F was the function of x, correct? So, what is the f of x answer? Okay, pure imaginary roots. So, c1 cos kx, okay, plus c2 sin kx. Right, actually, right now e power alpha x, c1 cos beta x plus c2 sin beta x, where alpha is the real part. But that is 0 here. That is why e power 0 will be 1. Here, this is g is a function of time and there is only one root which is real. So I will write down gt is equal to c1 e raised to the power, c1 नहीं use करते, c1 is already used, so suppose c3 e power mt, तो e power minus k square t. अब दोनों को अगर हम combine कर दें dear, okay, these are both equations solved. For very detail I am solving you. Now your real solution starts from here. The temperature, which is a function of x and y, can be written as c3 e power minus k square t multiplied by c1 cos of kx plus c2 sin of kx. If you have studied this in detail, okay, you can start your question directly from the here. Now boundary conditions. क्या बोला है? Thereafter temperature at both the ends, okay, are maintained at 0 degree. Okay, the x is measured in centimeter, x equal to 0 at a. तो अगर मैं यहाँ पे, if suppose I consider this as the x axis and let me draw the rod here. There is a rod which is 5 centimeter in length. Okay, this is corresponding to x equal to 0. This is corresponding to x equal to 5 and equilibrium mein these two temperatures are maintained at 0 degree. So what is the first boundary condition? Okay, what is the first boundary condition? The temperature is a function of x and y, na? So temperature at 0 comma t is equal to 0 degree, and second condition that you will use, the temperature at 5 comma t, that is also 0 degree. So use karte hain dear. Let me use it. So the first one, if I use temperature at 0 comma t is 0 degree. So temperature function में रख देंगे क्या 0, x की जगह 0. Okay, t is t only. c3 e power minus k square t multiplied by x की जगह 0. तो c1 into cos 0 is 1 plus, cos 0 is 1 plus c2 into sin 0. Sin 0 is 0. So this is net equal to 0. So I have c3 e power minus k square t into c1 equal to 0. That gives you the conclusion that c1 is equal to 0. C1 is 0. C3 cannot be 0 because if C3 is 0, the entire temperature function becomes 0. No, it is not entire 0. So only C1 is equal to 0. And if C1 is equal to 0, so now what is your temperature function? As a function of x and t. Sorry, मैंने यहाँ y क्यों लिख दिया? That is a function of space and time. Okay, so now it is going to be a function C3 e raised to the power minus k square t multiplied by C1 तो 0 हो गया, C2 sin kx. Now I will use a second condition, dear. And what is my second condition? What is my second condition? That t of 5 comma t will be 0 degree. So 0 यहाँ पे रख दिया. T of 5 comma t, x की जगह 5 रखना है. तो c3 c2 they are constant. c2 c3 e power minus k square t into sin of 5k into what? Sin of 5k will be equal to 0. So this only C2, C3 cannot be 0, otherwise again the entire temperature function is 0. So what can be 0? Sin 5k can be 0 and sin 5k can be 0. Sin theta is 0 when theta is equal to n pi, where theta is equal to n pi, where n has to be 1, 2, etc, etc, etc. यहाँ से k का value आ गया, k is equal to n pi divided by 5. Acha, that means dear, now applying the superposition, listen to me. Okay, k is n pi by 5. So sin n pi 5 by x. Now what is, wherever any next boundary condition is given, yahan given nahi hai, but if any next boundary condition is given, the value of the C2, C3 will also depend on the value of n. So I can write down the temperature is equal to C2, C3. Suppose the C2, C3 is equal to Cn. C2, C3 is equal to Cn. Why I am writing Cn? Because that will also depend on n. Okay, जो solution n पे depend हो गया. Any more boundary condition if you apply, that is going to be dependent on what value of n you are taking. Okay, so Cn e raised to the power minus k square t, e raised to the power minus k square t sine of kx. Okay, let me actually put down the value of k, and by applying the superposition, you have to sum it for all values of n. Okay, this is like summation of Cn e raised to the power minus k square. Sir, k कितना है? K is n pi by 5, right? So n square pi square divide by 25t into sine of n pi upon 5 into x. Now guys, no need to solve it further. Yeah, we can solve it further. We can find the value of Cn. Okay, but here if you, because what is here a form of solution is given. Why only odd values of n? Abhi next question mein ye bhi prove ho jayega. But this question not required. Okay, you are able to feel that e power minus beta nt square, beta n square t, and I want the value of beta. I want the value of beta. So agar compare karo, this is the term beta n square t, right? So what is beta? N square t to hai alag. Okay, so what is beta? Beta is equal to pi square by 25. Beta is pi square by 25. NAT question hai, so let me write down its answer here. Just 1 second. Let us calculate this value. Just a second. Right. 0.395. So approximately the answer that is coming is 0.395. I think they have mentioned for 3 decimal places. Okay, acha, nothing else is mentioned. Okay, no problem. So answer is 0.395. That's the very correct answer. That is the very correct answer. Let us now move to the next question here. And next question is again on the temperature distribution, this time which satisfies the Laplace equation. The steady state temperature distribution in a square plate ABCD is governed by the 2D Laplace equation. So sir, what is the 2D Laplace equation? What is the two-dimensional Laplace equation? It is given by del 2t. Suppose t is the temperature, del 2t by del x square plus del 2t by del y square equal to 0. The side AB is kept at the temperature of 100 degrees and the other 3 sides are kept at the temperature of 0 degree. Ignoring the effect of discontinuities in the boundary conditions at the corner, the steady state temperature at the center of the plate is T naught. Due to symmetry, the steady state temperature at the center will be same, that is T naught, when any one of the side of the square is kept at 100 degree. So first they told side AB is at 100 degree, but you can take any side at 100, rest 3 should be at 0 degree, remaining 3 are 0 degree. Using principle of superposition, what is the value of the T naught? What is the value of the T naught? Okay, so let me first draw the picture. It's a square plate. Let us first start by taking a picture here. Just a moment. Okay, let's say this is the plate and this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, this is my square plate ABCD. Now this particular slide lies on the x-axis and x-axis by y will be 0. So I can write down this as t of x comma 0, right? Then this is the y-axis onto which x will be 0. So t of 0 comma y can be anything. Right, अगर मैं यहाँ की बात करूँ, so this is t of x comma, this is t of, now this is a line parallel to x-axis. Line parallel to x-axis, y is constant and that is equal to L. Suppose the square is L cross L. I have taken a square which is of the dimension L cross L, where L can be anything, that's not going to really matter. You can take it 1, you can take it 100, you can take it 20, anything. Okay. And this is going to be a line parallel to y-axis. So x will be constant. Suppose that is L and t of L comma y. Now, any 3 sides at 0 degree, and for simplicity let's take these 3 at 0 and let's take this one as the 100 degree, although you can swap it according to you. Once you understand the solution, you can take the conditions according to you as well. Okay. Now dear, okay, del 2t by del x square plus del 2t by del y square. Temperature is a function of x and y clearly, and because it is a function of x and y, once again let us assume that the temperature, which is a function of x and y, it is a product of two functions f of x and gy, variable separable, right? Once again, like the previous question, I will start by taking variable separable approach. Variable separable approach, clear? Okay, so if I take this variable separable, what is going to be my equation? Now, first is double derivative with x, so f double dash into g, plus derivative with y, so f will be constant, g double dash, total equal to 0. Okay, so f double dash upon f will be minus g double dash divided by g, and again to come up to standard results, let us take it as k square. Okay, so what will be first equation, dear? The first equation in front of you will be f double dash minus k square f will be 0, and जो second आने वाला है, that is g double dash is equal to minus k square g, तो bring it on the left side, तो plus k square g equal to 0. तो auxiliary equation कितना होगा, dear? Auxiliary equation first is m square minus k square is 0. M is equal to plus minus k. Here what is the auxiliary equation? That is m square plus k square equal to 0, and m is equal to plus minus ik, pure imaginary roots. So what is the answer for f of x here? Okay, that is real roots, real and distinct. So c1 e raised to the power kx plus c2 e raised to the power minus kx. What I am writing, guys, c1 e power m1x plus c2 e power m2x, right? And here g of x, or sorry, g of y will be equal to c1, or sorry, c1 is used, so c3 cos kx plus c4 sin ky. This is a function of y, so यहाँ पे लिखेंगे y. Clear everybody? Okay, now I will combine both. Now I will combine both. Okay, so my temperature function is equal to c1 e raised to the power kx plus c2 e raised to the power minus kx is whole multiplied by c3 cos of ky plus c4 sin of ky. Clear? This is one of the solution. Now guys, let me tell you one thing once again, and the point is ki if you have studied this chapter's differential equation, partial differential equation, so this is one of the standard solution of Laplace equation. If you remember this, your question actually starts from here, otherwise you have to derive it using the differential equation. So normally standard results of heat equation and wave equation, at least for civil and mechanical students, you must always remember. Okay, now what are the boundary conditions? Oh, what happened? Yeah, let us come here. So let me write down the boundary conditions here. It is seen in the picture. Arey, ye likh diya na? These are the boundary conditions. Okay, so no need to write it separately. Okay, so let us use the first one. Kahan se start kare? Let us use the x-axis. Yahan se start karte. Let me start with the first condition. T of, acha, for that let me write down the T here once again. Let me repeat this so that it is on screen. C1 e power kx plus C2 e power minus kx whole multiplied by C3 cos kx plus C4 sin ky. This is again y. Okay. Now, first t of x comma 0. T of x comma 0. Y की जगह 0 रखना है. Okay, first condition I am using. T of x comma 0 is 0. Is 0. Okay, so let us use this condition and I should be getting C1 e power kx, no change in the x term, C2 e power minus kx multiplied by y की जगह 0, तो C3 cos 0 is 1 plus C4 into 0, this is whole equal to 0, right? So what is only possibility? This is a function of x, we can't disturb. Only thing is C3 यहाँ से आ रहा है, C4 is already cancelled, so C3 must be 0. C3 must be 0. Okay, and then let me put down the second condition. So after this, what is my temperature function now? My temperature function is now just equal to C1 e की power kx plus C2 e की power minus kx is whole multiplied by only C4 sin ky. Only C4 sin ky. Okay. Now let me put down the second condition here. What is the second condition? The temperature at कहाँ चला गया? The let's take the simple one. पहले 0 वाला लेते हैं. 0 comma y. temperature at 0 comma y, that is also 0 degree. Okay, so let us put down this condition. Okay, so 0 0 x की जगह 0, यहाँ x की जगह 0, तो c1 e power 0 plus c2 e power 0. E power 0 is 1, so I am left with c1 plus c2 into c4 sin ky. ये function of y है. This is equal to 0. c4 can't be 0 because if c4 is 0, entire function becomes 0. So you have to take c1 plus c2 is 0 and hence c2 is equal to minus c1. And if c2 is minus c1, na bhaiya, so the next thing that you can write down here is, the next thing you will be able to write down here is, if c2 is minus c1, now your temperature becomes, c2 ko likh liya minus c1, so c1 will be outside. You can take c1 outside. You are left with e ki power kx minus e ki power minus kx, okay, into sin ky. Into sin ky. Third condition, dear. The third condition, again use the 0 degree condition. पहले simple वाली use करेंगे. तो these two are used. इस पे जाते हैं. T of x comma l is 0. T of x comma l is 0 degree. T of x comma l is 0 degree, and that means what I can do next is, okay, x की जगह x ही रहेगा, तो c1 e raised to the power kx minus e power minus kx, right? Here I think c4 was also there, na? Here there was a term of c4, right? तो c1 c4 कर दिया into sin of ky, y is equal to l, equal to 0. c1 c4, none of them can be 0 because if any of them is 0, the temperature, whole temperature function will become 0. सब कुछ invalid हो जाएगा. That is why now once again sinusoidal answer, sin kl equal to 0, leading to the condition that kl is n pi, where in general n is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. So what is the value of k? What is the value of constant a? That is given by n pi divided by l. N pi divided by l, and on the basis of this, dear, on the basis of this, t of x comma y, now because k is going to be a function of n pi by l to fixed hoga. Okay, but n can be multiple, 1, 2, 3. We will see what are the values of n, but n can take many values. Okay, and that is why whenever next boundary condition you put, the value of the constant c1, c4 is going to depend on what value of n you are taking. Okay, so once again, guys, like the last question, let take c1, c4 is equal to cn because that is going to be dependent on n. Now it's going to be dependent on n. So my solution looks like cn. Okay, c1, c4 को cn लिख लिया, e raised to the power kx minus e raised to the power minus kx is whole multiplied by sine of is whole multiplied by sine of ky. K का value रख देते हैं actually. Okay, but and again applying the superposition, you have to add all possible harmonics. Okay, so summation लगा देंगे यहाँ पे, and this can be written as what? This function can be written as e power theta, real है, e power theta minus e power minus theta divide by 2 is sine hyperbolic function. Okay, so divide by 2 नहीं है, तो you can write down 2 sine hyperbolic theta. Okay, so your temperature as of now looks like summation 2cn sine hyperbolic kx, k की वैल्यू रख देंगे n pi by lx into sine of ky, where k is again n pi by l into y. This is the function as of now. Now let us come to the next boundary condition, and the next boundary condition, the fourth boundary condition of the side 100 degree. Of the side 100 degree. कौन सा 100 degree पे? T of L comma y is 100. T of L comma y is equal to 100. T of L comma y is equal to 100 degree. Okay, इसको यूज कर लेते हैं. अच्छा, T of L comma y है, मतलब what is going to be the value of, यहाँ पे है ना kx का term. What is going to be kx? K is n pi by L and x is equal to L, so you are left with n pi. So the temperature that is summation 2cn sine hyperbolic n pi x by L cancel, sine hyperbolic n pi into sine of ky, अभी k को k ही रखते हैं, बाद में simplify कर लेंगे, into sine of ky, this is equal to 100 degree. But dear, point to be noted is, this is constant, cn is constant and sine hyperbolic ny is constant. Constant means this is a constant dependent only on only on n. It doesn't depend on x and y. Okay, so let this be a constant, suppose now an. Let this be a constant, suppose an. So I have the equation now with me. Okay, I have the equation now with me, that is summation of some constant an into sine ky where k is n pi by l. So sine n pi by ly, this is 100. And from the idea of Fourier series, okay, using the concept of Fourier series, we can calculate, because sinusoidal term periodicity aa gaya, we can calculate the value of an, and the value of an can be written as 2 by l, 2 over the length, into integral 0 to l, the 100. What is the function? This is equal to what function? Fx is 100. Okay, 100 under this condition. Okay, 100 is multiplied by sine n pi y by l dy. Now let us do this integration. Okay. Fx sine n omega naught x dx. That is what normally you do. Here it is a function of y. So sine n pi y by l. Okay, so 200 divided by l. Integration of sine is minus cos. So minus cos n pi y divided by l, divide by n pi by l. Basic integration rules. Limit is 0 se leke l. First of all, this l and l will get cancelled. So you are left with minus of 200 divide by n pi. Carefully, minus 200 divide by n pi. Put down the upper limit. So upper limit is going to be l, y ki jagah l. So l and l will cancel, cos n pi. Cos n pi. And lower limit is just 0. So cos 0 we all know is 1. Now dear, this is cos n pi. Further isko break kiya. Minus 200 by n pi into what? Okay, into what? Let me make some more space here. This is equal to minus 200 upon n pi into what? Dekho, if you take n equal to 1, cos pi. If you take n equal to 3, cos 3 pi. So cos pi, cos 3 pi, all of them are minus 1. So minus of minus one will be minus 2. But that is only if you take n equal to odd. On the other hand, this is minus 200 by n pi. Chota chota likha hai, but dekh lena. Multiplied by 0. Whenever you take n even, cos 2 pi 0, cos 2 pi 1, 1 minus 1 0 hoga, cos 2 pi is 1, cos 4 pi is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, so yahan likh diya 0 if n is equal to even. I hope this is visible to all of you. Yes, it is slightly visible. Okay, so only odd harmonics will exist. Only odd harmonics will exist. So what is going to be the value of an? The value of an is actually equal to 400 by n pi. 400 by n pi for n equal to odd. Only odd harmonics are allowed. 400 by n pi. So an ka value aa gaya. If an is obtained, what is the an? What is the an? Ye dekhna. 2 cn sine hyperbolic n pi. 2 cn sine hyperbolic n pi is equal to an. Is equal to an. So what is the value of cn? Yeah, what is the value of 2 cn finally? That is going to be an is divided by sine hyperbolic n pi. Okay. Now let us use this 2 cn in the final equation. Ye to boundary condition tha. Okay. So what was the form obtained? In this form I will substitute 2 cn. In this form I will substitute 2 cn. So let me write down this form here. Temperature, which was written as summation 2 cn sine hyperbolic kx into sine ky. Yahan tak aa gaye the hum log. Okay. In this, substitute the value of 2 cn. Okay. If I substitute the value of 2 cn, I will get the temperature, dear. Temperature as a function of x and y equal to an. Now an matlab summation n equal to odd. Directly likh diya. Okay, because an is only applicable if n is odd, otherwise it is 0. So that will not come in the summation. So summation for odd values of n. An ka value 400 divide by n pi. Okay, further divided by sine hyperbolic n pi. Kitna? Sine hyperbolic n pi. Upar kitna hai? Sine hyperbolic kx. Right, into sine ky. Okay, एक बार फिर से लिख देता हूं clearly. So your final answer. Now we will come to the numerical answer. that is equal to 400 by pi, bahar le lijiye, that is equal to 400 upon pi. Summation for n is equal to odd. Summation for n is equal to odd. Okay. 1 upon sine hyperbolic 1 upon n sine hyperbolic n pi. ध्यान देना, n sine hyperbolic n pi into sine hyperbolic kx, k की जगह रख दिया n pi by l. Okay, तो sin n pi x by l into sin ky, that is sin n pi y upon l. This is the temperature function, guys. Beautifully derived, right? Beautifully derived. I've taken time, but I've explained you the entire thing. Chalo, okay, so now let us continue forward and complete this. Okay, now what is the temperature at the center of the square? Question में क्या पूछा है? What is the temperature at the center of the square? That is L by 2, L by 2. अच्छा, L by 2, L by 2 है. So that means what is going to be the value of Kx? Kx is n pi by L into L by 2. So that is going to become n pi divided by 2. Similarly, Ky, which is n pi by L multiplied by L by 2. So that is also n pi by 2. That is also n pi by 2. Okay, so now here you are going to get the term. Now here you are going to get the term sine hyperbolic n pi by 2 inside divided by sine hyperbolic n pi. Dear, sine theta can be broken. Whether sine theta, sine hyperbolic theta है तो उसको भी break कर सकते हैं. This is sine hyperbolic n pi by 2 divided by 2 sin theta, 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. तो 2 sin hyperbolic n pi by 2 into cos hyperbolic n pi by 2. ठीक है, तो sin hyperbolic is going to get cancelled. Okay, temperature at the center, dear, T of L by 2 comma L by 2. T of L by 2 comma L by 2 is equal to 400 divided by pi. Summation for odd values of n. Summation for odd values of n 1 upon n into what is left. Sin cancel कर दिया तो only 2 cos hyperbolic. 2 cos hyperbolic n pi by 2 and numerator will only be sin ky. ये तो cancel करने के बाद लिखा मैंने. The numerator will only be sin n pi by 2. ओके ये 2 को भी बाहर डिवाइड कर दो. सो टेम्परेचर एट L by 2 comma L by 2 डियर इज टर्निंग आउट टू बी 200 is divided by pi summation for odd values of n. Summation for odd values of n. Okay, sin n pi by 2 divided by n cos hyperbolic n pi by 2. ओपन कर देते हैं अब इसको. ओके, दिस इज व्हाट इज द आंसर. अब इसको केवल कैलकुलेट करना है, राइट. सो दिस इज 200 अपॉन पाई, 200 upon pi, n equal to what? The first odd value. Now sin pi by 2 will be 1. Okay, divided by cos hyperbolic pi by 2. Sin 3 pi by 2, sin 3 pi by 2, sin 270 is -1. तो -1 upon n की जगह रखा 3 cos hyperbolic 3 pi by 2. Plus 1 upon sin 5 pi by 2, again 1 minus 1. तो 1 divided by 5 cos hyperbolic 5 pi by 2, right? Minus plus etc. The next terms is going to become really insignificant. If you calculate even up to the first 3 terms, approximately your answer will turn out to be 24.99, or that can be approximated as 25 degree. That can be approximated as 25 degree, dear. That can be approximated as the 25 degree. Everybody, that can be approximated as 25 degree. ठीक है, done है. चलो guys, so as I told you, mathematics was normally simple, but this particular question and previous was still okay, because we were able to match the answer at least, but this was really calculative, and if you have done that, you can really be proud of yourself if you have done this, because it is a time consuming. Okay, because usually giving this much of time in the exam hall is really difficult. Now let us go to the next question. Now let us go to the next question that belongs to the general aptitude. Verbal questions I will not discuss much. Let us discuss the reasoning and quant question. Verbal, let's just discuss the answer. The line ran across the page, okay, right through the center and divided the page into two. Answer is A. Next is kind is too cruel. By the word meaning, actually opposite. Kind is too cruel because often and seldom are also opposite. Often means jo bahut zyada baro, seldom means jo bahut kam baro. The correct answer for this is A. Okay, next one. Now, in how many ways can the cells in a 3x3 grid be shaded such that each row and each column have exactly one shaded cell? And this is one example given to you. Okay, now you see this. Okay, in this row and in this column, it is just one instance. It is just one instance. So every row and every column just containing one shaded square. Now to solve this very simple fundamental, just take, let me explain you by taking this grid actually. Okay. Now, suppose you start with any one column. Suppose guys you start with any one column. Right now there is no shading. Okay. You fix any one. Okay. But in the first column, how many squares you have? 3. So you have 3 possibilities. Okay. You have the 3 possibilities. Okay. Now you fix any one square. Suppose you have shaded this. Yeah. Suppose you have shaded this one. So when you go to the second column, dear, okay, you cannot shade this. You cannot shade this. Why? Because repeated row. No, you cannot repeat in a row. So you have how many options? You have 2 options for the second position, for the second column. Now suppose you have selected this one. Okay, so now when you go to the third column, you cannot select the second one, you cannot select the first one because repetition in row will occur. So only possibility is one. Only one cell will be left. So only one choice. So as per the principle of multiplication, answer is 6. Okay, number of choices at every stage. So I have divided the cell into 3 stages. What are the 3 stages? 3 columns. You can divide row wise also. First column, 3 possibility. Then when you go to second, 2 possibilities. Then you go to the third, 1 possibility. Answer is 6. That is the option number D. Option number D. Moving ahead. Question number 51. Okay, this is again simple. There are 4 red, 5 green and 6 blue balls inside a box. If n number of balls are picked simultaneously, what is the smallest value of n? That guarantees that there will be at least 2 balls of same color, which guarantees that there will be at least, okay, at least 2 balls of the same color. Okay, what is the smallest n? Now worst case, you imagine you pick up ball, okay, and they come to be different color. You want same color, na? Okay, suppose you pick up first ball, different color. Second, first to unique hi hoga. Okay, second, suppose different. Okay, third, suppose different. But what about fourth? You have only 3 possible colors, na? Okay, here very logical question it is. You have only 3 possible colors, right? So whenever you pick up the 4th ball, okay, it will have repeated color. Can I say that? Because there is no 4th color, na? There is no 4th color. Okay, it will have repeated color, right? So what is the minimum value of n that will guarantee 2 balls of at least 2 balls of same color, and that is equal to 4. That is equal to 4. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Let us move to the next question. 52 MCQ 1 mark question. Consider a circle with the center at origin as shown. 2 operations are allowed inside the circle or are allowed on the circle. Number 1, scale independently along x and y axis and rotation in any direction about the origin. Any direction about the origin. Scale independently along x and y. Matlab you can scale along x, you can scale along y. Independently along x axis or y axis, and then you can rotate along any direction about the origin. Which figure among the options can be achieved through a combination of these 2 operations on the given circle? Okay, on the given circle. Now think. When you scale along x, okay, when you suppose only scale along x, it becomes an ellipse. Or if you scale only along y, scale pura karenge na. So if you scale only along y, that also becomes an ellipse, right? So it has to be after the scaling, it has to be an ellipse. Okay. So answer has to be, I'll write down the logic here. Answer has to be an elliptical shape. Now rotation. So when you are rotating, so first A or B, but when you are rotating, it is only option number A, na, because center kaise displace hoga. Okay, you are just rotating. So suppose it has become this an ellipse. Now you rotate around the origin. This is going to become something like this, but its origin will not shift. Its center will not shift upwards, na. So correct answer is A. Okay, rotated ellipse. So observation it is, just an observation. Option number A, dear. Just an observation. Option number A. Let us move to the next. Okay, so it's again a logical conclusion question. Iceland is a country that has peculiar beliefs and practices. They expressed almost all their emotions by gifting flowers. Okay, the emotions by flower, almost all the emotions. For example, for instance, if anyone gifts a white flower to someone, then it always taken to be a declaration of one's love for the person. The white flower is love. Okay, then it is always taken if anyone gives a white flower. In a similar manner, gifting of a yellow flower to someone often means that one is angry with that person. The yellow is angry, white is love. Okay, based only on the information provided above, none of your logic, none of my logic, based only on the information given, which of the following sets of statement can be logically inferred with certainty, with confirmation? Okay, in Iceland, one always declares one's love by gifting a white flower. No. Okay, people almost express all their emotions. They express almost all their emotions, but not always. Okay, there's a difference between almost and always. Always means 100%. Almost means most of the times. Now, most of the times can be 70% also, 80% also. कोई reference नहीं है यहाँ पे. Okay. In Iceland, all emotions are declared by gifting flower. No. This is again all कर दिया. All and always one in the same thing. In Iceland, sometimes one expresses one's anger by gifting a flower that is not yellow. No. ये तो पूरा wrong हो गया. Gifting of a yellow flower expresses anger. Okay, so ये wrong हो गया. Fourth, in Iceland, sometimes one expresses one's love by gifting a white flower. Yes, sometimes, not every time, one expresses one's love by gifting a white flower. So the correct possibility is only 4. The correct option is D. The correct option is D. It is just a reading and logical conclusion question. It's not a verbal question. It is logical reasoning, but just based on reading the given information. Next question. And it's for a 2-mark question. Just because for reading 2 marks. Otherwise, the solution is very simple. Okay. Oh, where is the next question? 54. 3 husband-wife pairs are to be seated at a circular table that has 6 identical chairs. Okay. So, you are given a circle that has 6 identical chairs. Okay. Okay, so let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. Seating arrangements are defined only by relative positions of the people. How many seating arrangements are possible such that every husband sits next to the wife? So husband and wife, they are next to each other. Okay, so they'll appear as pair. They will appear as pair. Okay, so husband and wife, they will have a pair sitting. Okay, they will sit in pair. So how many pairs? Okay. 3 husband-wife pairs. Okay. Where can they sit? Okay. Suppose you reserve this position and then you have this position and then you have this positions, right? Okay. So 3 pairs and suppose these are the 3 positions. But what are the arrangement of 3 positions? What are the arrangement of 3 objects in a circle? Arrangement of 3 objects in circle. Circular permutation, guys. Arrangement of 3 objects in circle, that is given by 3 minus 1 factorial, that is equal to 2. That is equal to 2. Okay. But now, if I want to talk about internal arrangement for every pair, what I mean is, कि suppose first couple comes here, assume that, but whether husband is here or whether husband is here, wife there. So there are 2 possibilities, na? So internal arrangement of every pair is 2 factorial because there are 2 objects in every pair, that is 2. What are those 2? Husband, wife or wife, husband. I have given you 2 positions. Okay, those 2 positions are linear. वो आपस में close नहीं है. So linear arrangement of 2 objects is 2 factorial. Okay, so what is the answer? First of all, in how many ways you can select the positions for 3 pairs? For 3 pairs, that is 2. Then internal arrangement of every pair. First couple 2 possibilities, second couple 2 possibilities, third couple 2 possibilities. So the total answer is equal to 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, that is 16. The total answer is equal to option number A, that is the 16, dear. That is equal to 16. Moving ahead to the next question. Okay, that is number 55. This is purely verbal question based on passage and understanding. I shall not discuss verbal here. I will give you the answer key here. Okay, let me take it a little bit slightly upwards. And the answer for the question there is D. The correct answer for this question is going to be D. Okay, let us move ahead. Okay, a very simple question for 2 marks, really very simple for 2 marks. And what is that? If x satisfies the equation 4 raised to the power 8 raised to the power x is 256, but 256 is 4 की power 4. So comparing you get 8 की power x is equal to 4. तो x का value easily आ जाएगा, right? Take the value of log, ठीक है, take log on both the sides. तो x is equal to how much? Log of 4 to what base? To base 8, because here it is 8 की power x. In the exponent a की power x, a is the base. So when you take log, the base has to be a. The base has to be 8. Okay. Now how to simplify this? Log of 4 can be written as 2 square and 8 can be written as 2 cube. Whenever there is a power over the number, it comes outside and multiplied. Whenever there is a power over the base, log property, whenever there is a power over the base, it comes outside and get divided. Okay, so now you are left with log 2 with the base 2. So the answer is 2 by 3 multiplied by 1, and that is 2 by 3. Log 2 to the base 2 is 1, answer is 2 by 3. The answer is equal to 2 by 3. Next one, 57. Consider a spherical globe rotating about an axis passing through its pole. Again, a logical good question, but spherical globe rotating about an axis passing through its pole. There are 3 points P, Q, R situated respectively on the equator, the north pole and the midway between the equator and north pole. Okay, पहले एक circle से समझाते हैं और फिर इसको अच्छे से समझा देंगे. Okay. Okay, so points P, Q, R. Points P will be on the equator line. Let's say this is going to be the point P. Okay, and then Q is on the north pole and R is midway. So R is somewhere here. Okay. Okay, let PQR move with the speeds VP, VQ, VR. Which of the following is correct? Comparing their speeds, and the globe is rotating. There is a globe rotating upon an axis passing through its pole. Okay, to explain you this, let me actually, for simplicity, let me take one spherical construction only. And if I take one spherical construction here, pay attention. Let's say this is the globe that we are talking about. And let's say this is the line of the poles. Okay. Now, this is the point that we are referring. This is P, okay, on the equator. This is Q on the north pole exactly, and R is somewhere in between. Now, because it's a spherical globe, R can be anywhere on this circle, on the circle circumference. Okay, it can be here, it can be anywhere on this circular circumference. Similarly, P can be anywhere here. Okay, but when the sphere is rotating, what is the direction of rotation of sphere? The sphere is rotating about the axis passing through the pole. This is the direction in which the globe is rotating. Okay. Now, what is the velocity, dear? What is the formula for velocity? Yeah, speed. Speed की बात कर लेते हैं. Let us write down in terms of speed. Speed, which is given by the distance is divided by time, and that is d upon time. Let us fix the time for all. Okay, in a particular time, okay, v is proportional to d. V is proportional to d. Okay. V is proportional to d. Now, after one full rotation of the globe, okay, after one full rotation of the globe, okay, how much is the distance traveled by Q? So, the globe is rotating about this axis. Q is the point on the axis, so its net distance is 0. Okay, that means VQ is also 0. Acha, what is the distance for R? Okay, and what is the distance for P? What is the distance for P? Okay, for that, let me assume that this is the radius R and this is the radius small r. Okay, okay, so distance traveled by the R is 2 pi small r. Okay, one full rotation, na? Okay, so equal to circumference, dear. And distance traveled by the point P is again equal to circumference, but the circumference at the center is most. At the equator, it is the most. So that is 2 pi capital R. Okay, so R is greater. The capital R is greater than small r. That is why the distance of the point P is more than the distance of point R. That means I can say that point P is moving faster. Okay, so the velocity of the point P is greater than the velocity of R. Okay, and then eventually both velocities are greater than VQ because VQ is 0. So PRQ, The sequence has to be P, R, Q. Answer is C. P, R and then Q. Q to least पे है. P, R and then Q. P most, then R, then the Q. Okay, Q ऊपर है ना? Q north pole पे है. North pole, correct. And then R is midway. So R second है. Correct है, guys. Answer is C. Answer is C. Okay, so these are all questions of general aptitude. Let me again summarize. General aptitude on an easier level. Okay, although some different questions are there, but very logical questions are there. So on an easier level, maths mostly easy to moderate, but one or two questions were very time taking. So usually in the exam hall, it is suggested to compromise with that question and move ahead to the next, because you saw that question of Laplace equation, how much steps, how much time does it take? Okay, so guys, I hope you have enjoyed and understood the solution of maths and aptitude part. And now with this, again, your favorite, the dashing Joshit sir, is going to continue with the solutions of some other subjects. Okay, bye bye. Thank you. Stay safe.
So thank you so much, Rakesh sir. So guys, let's move to the next subject, which is irrigation engineering. So the first question is, identify the cross drainage work in the figure. This is the figure given to you. Number one thing you need to notice is the orientation or the position of drain and your canal, right? So we have drain here and canal here, right? So number one, this is the category of passage, basically you can say super passage, correct? Now the thing is, we need to understand whether there will be siphon or not, because then only we can answer. So number one thing here, you can say the bottom of the drain is far away, or you can say above than the water level or full supply level of the canal. There is no need of siphon, nothing, no word of siphon should be mentioned. So the right answer over here is going to be super passage, which is option 1. Right, definitely not aqueduct, not siphon aqueduct, because they are like, if canal was here and drain was here, then we can say it was aqueduct. If full supply level, I mean this high flood level, if this would have been above the level of the canal bottom, then it can become siphon aqueduct. And obviously this is not level crossing. In level crossing, both of them are going to be on same level. Number one thing is this. Next question that we are having is from highway engineering. So next question is, which of the following is equal to stopping side distance? This is MCQ. Brake distance required to stop plus distance traveled during perception minus reaction, wrong. Brake distance required to come at rest, okay, minus distance traveled. See, if we wait, okay, they are basically saying braking distance plus reaction time. So option A is correct here. I'll tell you, stopping side distance is nothing. It is equals to 0.278 V into TR. This is your lag distance, distance traveled during the reaction time, plus V square by 254 F. If there is no gradient given, V square by 254 F. B is braking efficiency, plus minus 0.01 n% if you have the gradient also. So here the right answer is going to be nothing but the option A, which actually tells you that brake distance required to come at stop plus travel distance during the perception reaction time. Okay, I thought this is negative, I don't know why. Moving on to the next question again, highway engineering. As per Indian Road Congress, extra widening depends on what? So if I talk about extra widening is composition of the mechanical widening plus the psychological widening. So here, if I write down the whole formula, it is NL square by 2R plus V by 9.5 under root R. Depends on number of lane, okay, L, okay, R, okay, velocity. So A and C are right answer. Does not depend on super elevation and longitudinal gradient. Next question. Alright. So they are saying the figure represents the time pass diagram for when the traffic on a highway is suddenly stopped. This is a very beautiful question, I would say. And those students who understand the green field distribution, they would be able to answer this question very easily. So number one thing is, they are saying speed is higher in region R than in region P. So this is region R, this is region P. Can you quickly see this one thing, guys? For same time here and here, you can clearly see that P region, the slope is slightly more than the region R. What does that mean? That means same time they are covering more distance, means speed is higher in P region. So they are saying opposite of this. This is wrong. volume is lower in region Q than in region P. So volume, I think because Q here we are having stop condition, people will be having absolutely, you can say, zero volume, right? Not just low but zero volume, right? So volume is definitely going to be almost zero here in region Q in comparison to R or P, any you can take. Volume is higher in region R than in region P. Again the same concept goes here also, because the point is the halt condition, right? Here we are having the halt condition, and also the this if you compare the slope also, then also you will get the answer that obviously the volume is going to be higher in the region R than in region P. Next is density is higher. So obviously when there is a halt condition, in that case what happens, the vehicle actually stands very close to each other, which makes their density obviously maximum. So density is obviously be higher in Q in comparison to any region P or R. The right answer to this question was B, C and D. Next question, consider the Marshall method. Okay, MSQ. The stability decreases initially and then increases. I think this is the opposite. Marshall stability, if I compare it with the bitumen, stability and bitumen, it is something like this. They are saying decrease and initially increase. Wrong. Flow value increases. Yeah, it is true. Flow value goes like this, right? Flow value and bitumen. So this is right. Air voids increase initially, then decrease. Air voids, actually they decrease. Okay, they decrease. And the voids filled with bitumen, they increase. Yeah. So B and D are definitely right answer to this question. Okay, let's move to the next subject, and I think that is mechanical. Okay, that is fluid mechanics. So here we have the diagram. The pressure in the pipe at X is to be measured by open manometer shown in the figure. All right. So, okay. So we can see here there is a fluid over here, fluid B. Till here we have fluid B, and here we have fluid A. Okay, next they are saying that we need to find out very important thing, absolute pressure. We need to consider the pressure, atmospheric pressure also in this case. So let's start one by one. So let's start with here Px, right? Since we are going up, so when you go up, you do minus. How much we are going up? We are going up by 75 centimeters. So rho GH. What is the density of the fluid A? Specific gravity is given to us as 0.8. So 0.8 means you can say 800 rho GH. Now here pressure is same, pressure is same. Now we go up. So when we go up plus, sorry, again minus because we are going up. Minus how much? Again, this time we have mercury. So rho GH. This time it should not be 0. Why not 0? Because here this time we are having atmospheric pressure, which is given to us as well. So when you solve this, eventually the Px value should be 140.54. 140.54 kilonewton per meter square. That is going to be the answer. Right? Next question is this. Which of the following statement is or are true? The thickness of turbulent boundary layer on a flat plate kept parallel. The flow direction is proportional to the square root. Actually, this is wrong. Why this is wrong? Because in case of a turbulent case, they are asking the turbulent case. So if we actually see the Blau's solution also, we know that delta by x. I'm writing this for what? This is for turbulent case, right? So it will be 0.376 Rex raised to the power 1 by 5. The thing is, here we have 1 by 5, right? And as soon as I open this, it is going to be how much? 0.376 by rho V x means rho u infinity x by mu 1 by 5, and also this x will come here. So eventually delta is going to be proportional to x raised to the power 4 by 5. Okay, That is the whole point here. Not square root. So this is wrong statement. If streamline equipotential lines source are interchanged. So basically when I talk about source, what does that mean? Right. Now if we actually interchange them, what will happen? In this case, they are saying we need to interchange the line. So what will happen, guys? This is very simple actually. This will happen. Are we getting a sink? I think no. We are getting a free vortex flow, okay? Not the sink. So this is also wrong. For a curved surface, yes, rho g v. And this is also right that for flow through circular pipe, momentum correction factor for laminar is larger than the case of turbulent, because there is more uniformity in the profile of the velocity in case of a turbulent flow. That is why low amount of correction factor is required. So that's it. These are the solutions for, I think, all the subjects, right?
Now let's begin with steel structures. But before that, I would like to thank you, Joshi sir, for helping the student with previous questions. So now the subject is design of steel structures. So in this shift, आपसे एक सवाल पूछा गया steel engineering से, and this is from the topic weld. Okay, so welding of steel joints आप कह सकते हैं, and this is a MCQ type question of 2 marks. Okay, so there are 4 options available. आपको इसमें से एक सही आंसर कैलकुलेट करके बताना है. What is the question? Let's see. 2 plates are connected by fillet welds of size 10 mm and subjected to tension. कि भाई यहाँ पे 2 प्लेट्स को लिया गया है, उनको एक साथ वेल्ड कर दिया गया है और इसमें फिलेट वेल्डिंग की गई है. ओके, एज शोन इन द फिगर द थिकनेस ऑफ द ईच प्लेट इज 12 mm और दोनों ही प्लेट जिनको वेल्ड किया गया है उनकी थिकनेस कितनी दी गई है? 12 mm दी गई है. सो आई विल राइट हियर okay, thickness is 12 mm. So whatever they are giving, you just have to write. Okay. Next is they are saying the yield stress and the ultimate stress of the steel under tension are 250 megapascal and 410 megapascal. So the steel you have used here to make the joint, यहाँ पे जो joint बनाने के लिए यहाँ पे हमने जो स्टील का इस्तेमाल किया उसकी yield stress की वैल्यू यानी कि yield strength Fy is 250 megapascal और जो उसकी अल्टीमेट स्ट्रेंथ दी गई है दैट इज 410 मेगापास्कल. ओके, कहता है द वेल्डिंग इज डन इन द वर्कशॉप. पार्शियल सेफ्टी फैक्टर गामा MW इज 1.25. एज पर द लिमिट स्टेट मेथड ऑफ IS 800-2007, व्हाट इज द मिनिमम लेंथ इन mm राउंडेड ऑफ टू द नियरेस्ट हायर मल्टीपल ऑफ 5 mm required of each weld to transmit a factored force P equal to 275 kilonewton. कहता है कि मुझे ये इवेलुएट करके बताइए कि मिनिमम इफेक्टिव लेंथ कितनी मैं वहां पे प्रोवाइड करूं इस वेल्ड के अंदर, कितनी कम से कम लेंथ में यहां पे वेल्डिंग करूं कि वो कुछ लोड P कैरी कर पाए सेफली, और वो P लोड कितना है? 275 किलो न्यूटन है. अब मुझे एक बात अच्छे से पता है कि अगर मैं 2 प्लेट्स के बीच में वेल्डिंग कर रहा हूं, ठीक है, तो सेफली इस लोड को कैरी करने के लिए, पी लोड को कैरी करने के लिए मुझे कितना कैरी करना पड़ेगा? ठीक है ना, इट विल बी नथिंग बट परमिसिबल स्ट्रेस मल्टीप्लाई बाय इफेक्टिव एरिया ऑफ वेल्डिंग. यस और नो? अब यहां पे फिलेट वेल्ड दिया गया है तो उस केस में आपको परमिसिबल एरिया पहले से मेंशन नहीं है, बट उस केस में जो परमिसिबल स्ट्रेस हो सकता है दैट इज Fu बाय √3 इंटू गामा MW. ओके, और साथ के साथ इफेक्टिव एरिया जो आपका होगा दैट विल बी इफेक्टिव लेंथ मल्टीप्लाई बाय थ्रोट थिकनेस. यस और नो? और सेफ लोड तो उन्होंने पहले से पी दिया हुआ है. दिस इज नथिंग बट 275 किलो न्यूटन. आई एम राइटिंग द वैल्यू इन न्यूटन, सो आई एम मल्टीप्लाइंग दिस वैल्यू बाय 10 to the power 3 और ये वैल्यू न्यूटन में हो गई. FU की वैल्यू पहले से गिवन है, दैट इज 410 इन न्यूटन पर एम स्क्वायर. मेगा पास्कल इज नथिंग बट 1 मेगा पास्कल इज इक्वल्स टू 1 न्यूटन पर एम स्क्वायर, यानी कि 410 मेगा पास्कल 410 न्यूटन पर एम स्क्वायर के बराबर होगा. तो मैंने कहा ठीक है. एंड गामा MW इज ऑल्सो गिवन, दैट इज 1.25 multiply by effective length. I have no idea. This is what I need to calculate. यही तो मैं निकालना चाहता हूं, effective length. Okay. Multiplied by throat thickness. Throat thickness is nothing but KS. ठीक है, तो भाई throat thickness भी निकाल लेते हैं. Throat thickness is KS. अब यहां पे कुछ दिया है जिसकी मदद से हम throat thickness निकाल पाए. Yes, वेल्ड का साइज दिया गया है, सब्जेक्टेड टू टेंशन है, फिलेट वेल्डिंग की गई है, तो जनरल केस के अंदर हमारी ये वैल्यू कितनी होगी, 0.7 टाइम्स के की वैल्यू हम क्या लेंगे, हम फ्यूजन एंगल 90 डिग्री मान के चलेंगे. ठीक है ना. और यहां पे साइज ऑफ वेल्ड आपको दिया गया है 10, तो मैंने 10 रख दिया. तो आई वुड लाइक टू राइट इट एज 0.7 multiply by 10. Just what I need to do is now cross multiply. एक तरफ ले आते हैं, तो इफेक्टिव लेंथ कैलकुलेट करने पर 275 into 10 to the power 3 divided by this value will be 410 under root 3 into 1.25 multiplied by 0.7 multiplied by 10. And if you will calculate, this effective length is coming out as a value of 207.45 mm. But what they have asked, again read the question. Again read. What is the minimum length in mm rounded off to the nearest higher multiple of 5 mm required of each weld to transmit a factored force P? Each weld. यानी कि जो इफेक्टिव लेंथ है वो तो वेल्डिंग आपने दोनों तरफ करी है, और दोनों तरफ वेल्डिंग करने पर जो इफेक्टिव लेंथ की जरूरत आपको है वो कितनी है, 207.45 mm है. तो मुझे अगर एक साइड वेल्ड करना होगा, ईच साइड, ठीक है ना. सो इफ मिनिमम इफेक्टिव लेंथ, आई कैन राइट minimum effective length for each side of weld equals to 207.45 divided by 2. So this value will come out 103.72 mm. And let's see, क्या ये ऑप्शन दिया गया है? 103.72, 100, 105, 110, 115. अब मेरे पास जो वैल्यू आई है वो 103 mm के अप्रोक्सीमेटली है. ये सर नो, अगर 103 है तो यानी कि ये तो मिनिमम वैल्यू मैं प्रोवाइड कर सकता हूं, यानी कि इससे छोटा आंसर तो मैं कंसिडर कर ही नहीं सकता. 100 कैन नॉट बी द आंसर. सो इससे मैं सेफर साइड को ध्यान में रखते हुए, फॉर सेफ्टी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, मैं इससे जस्ट एक हायर वैल्यू को कंसिडर कर सकता हूं, एंड दैट वैल्यू इज नथिंग बट 105 mm. अगर मैं दोनों तरफ 105 mm और 105 mm की वेल्डिंग कर देता हूं, दिस लोड 275 किलो न्यूटन कैन बी कैरिड आउट इजिली. तो आप जो बेस्ट सुटेबल आंसर यहां पे कह सकते हैं फॉर 2 मार्क्स इज नथिंग बट बी 105 mm. सो इट विल बी द राइट आंसर. तो आपने देखा कि इस पेपर के अंदर क्या क्या क्वेश्चंस आए. स्टील से वेल्ड के ऊपर क्वेश्चन आया. अगर आप अगली शिफ्ट को भी देखेंगे तो उस शिफ्ट के अंदर भी आप लोगों से वेल्ड के ऊपर क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है, शेप फैक्टर के ऊपर क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है. तो प्लास्टिक एनालिसिस से एक क्वेश्चन मान के चलें कि आता है, इस शिफ्ट में नहीं आया, ये एक अलग बात है, बट हम ये अज्यूम करके चलते हैं कि अगर गेट का पेपर हो रहा है तो प्लास्टिक एनालिसिस से एक क्वेश्चन एंड कनेक्शंस के थ्रू या फिर टेंशन कंप्रेशन मेंबर, उनमें से थ्रू आउट द सिलेबस एक क्वेश्चन तो होगा और एक प्लास्टिक एनालिसिस. तो 2 क्वेश्चन हम बाय डिफॉल्ट मान के चलते हैं. अगर 3 भी आ जाएं तो कोई बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं होगी. लेकिन वेल्ड एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है, इससे तो आपको प्रैक्टिस करना ही करना चाहिए. प्लास्टिक एनालिसिस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एज पर द गेट. ठीक है, तो ओवरऑल पेपर को आप देखें, पढ़ें, और इससे जो भी आपने सीखा आप इसको फ्यूचर में अगर आप गेट 2024 के लिए, 2025 के लिए अगर आप प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं तो दिस विल हेल्प यू अ लॉट. और उसके बाद भी अगर आपके कोई डाउट रह जाते हैं, कोई क्वेरी रह जाती है, यू कैन जस्ट लेट अस नो एंड वी विल बी वेरी हैप्पी टू हेल्प यू एज ऑल ऑफ द टीचर्स हैज हेल्प यू आउट. अभिनव सर, कृष्णा सर, रिचा मैम, जोशित सर एंड समवट व्हाट आई कैन बी अ पार्ट ऑफ. ठीक है, तो जितना भी आप लोगों को यहाँ पे कोशिश की गई है सिखाने की, उनको बहुत अच्छे से सीखें और फ्यूचर एग्जामिनेशन में, फ्यूचर अपॉर्चुनिटीज में यूटिलाइज करें. थैंक यू फॉर बीइंग हियर.